Yo, what's going on, fellas? Happy Tuesday. Look, man, there was amazing fights on Saturday. There was a stellar performance of Bam Rodriguez on the co-main event versus on the rematch of Boots versus Karen undercard. Bam looking like the real thing. He's going through the legends of the past, right? Carlos Cuadras, Gallito Estrada. Now there's rumors that they're trying to get him versus Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez. If that's the case, man, it's going to be a passing of the torch to the young Bam. And then we can see big fights happen, maybe him against Nonito Donaire, him against Junto Nakatani, and then eventually possibly up against Naoya anyway. Of course, all in due time. The rematch between Boots versus Karen. Some of these fighters, they came to fight. Before I even get to the main event, Top Rank had their own card as well. They had Abdullah Mason fighting let's just say some Dominican cat. And he kept getting dropped by the left hook over the top, man. This dude kept finding this left hook connecting right on the chin over the, southpaw shoulder roll and just clocking Abdullah Mason. And it was an epic 1 or 2 rounds. It was fantastic. Then you had that fighter, he pretty much gave up the whole fight. It was the dude that Troy Isley was fighting. But had he fought the way that he did in the last round throughout the fight, bro, you might just beat Troy Isley. But be that as it may, man, Keyshawn Davis, he did his thing. He knocked out that Argentinian that came out 6 pounds overweight. Now, there's a couple of things what happens when a fighter comes out overweight. And usually it's either, he's like Ryan Garcia taking advantage. They're going to pay the fine because they didn't want to cut enough weight and they wanted to get a size advantage. Or, and more often than not, the fighter hasn't been training properly due to, bad nutrition or bad sparring or, getting overweight during the off season, that they don't have enough time to cut enough weight because, training camp wasn't that great. Ryan's training camp versus Devin really wasn't that great. That's why he couldn't come in and make the weight. And as well with his Argentine. And Keyshawn Davis has that tool and that X factor that Devin Haney doesn't, and that's punching power. That performance that Keyshawn Davis had and that knockout in that fashion reminded me of Teofimo Lopez when Teofimo Lopez destroyed Diego Magdaleno, Jesse Magdaleno's older brother, right? He used to be signed with Top Rank. Look, man, there was a lot of good fights on this weekend. And I was extremely impressed with Abdullah Mason. Obviously, you guys know that I'm very high with Abdullah Mason. But he has a lot of flaws to correct. And that was like a precedent of what fighters are supposed to do against Abdullah Mason. There was this fighter that he fought, I think, in his 3rd or 4th fight. His name is Angel Rebollar. And the thing is, you don't try to outbox Abdullah Mason. You go in there trying to knock him out because he's going to be a little chinny. But just because you knock him doesn't mean he's not going to have heart to get back up. Look, man, there was a lot of great fights. And then let's go to the main event, right? Jaron Boots Ennis. Actually, let me first find that interview, right? Because body language alone, he didn't really – I don't think he beat Karen, man. I thought that fight should have been a draw. Body language in the fights, yeah, Karen was hugging excessively, and that's why he got a point taken away. But coupled with those excessive clinches that Karen was doing to smother Jaron Boots Ennis, I got you, Drew. Along with Jaron Boots Ennis, he also hit Karen a lot of times below the waist. Errol Spence used to do this all the time. Go watch the Kell Brook fight. He must have given Kell Brook 50 low blows in that fight. He hit Sean Porter a lot of times below the waist as well. And Jaron Boots Ennis was getting a lot of favoritism from Harvey Dock, the same ref that was catering to Devin Haney. It's by no mistake that, yes, he warned Karen for excessive holding, but wasn't Devin excessively holding Ryan Garcia as well? It never took away a point. In fact, they didn't give Ryan those delayed knockdowns. Anyway, Drew, 1, 2, 3, my check real quick, brother. How you been?
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
Yeah, man. Yeah, good fights, huh? Really good fights. I think
I
I'm
thought so,
looking at,
bro. Hell yeah.
yeah, I'm looking at the I gotta look at the whole bout like as a whole, like the whole card. I mean, Khalil Cole fought as well. But yeah, like you're talking about Jaron Ennis already. Did you talk about the other fights?
Yeah, I clicked I glossed real quick over it, man.
Mm,
I didn't really go too much into detail.
yeah.
Um
All right,
but
now we can start.
I didn't go too much into detail because I wanted you and Speed to talk about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, now we can talk about the Boots fight, but yeah, because it I don't see why people thought he was gonna knock him out. You know, there's nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. It's only been what, a year. I'm looking at the resume. I think it's only been a year since they fought each other. Like, shit really hasn't changed, bro. Like, Ennis hasn't really upped his game. Like, it's been the same thing, the same story. So I knew this was gonna go the distance, and um, I feel like Boots did a lot better in the early rounds, and then Karen managed to connect him on some good shots, bro, because he was actually willing to stay in the pocket, because he thought he was actually able to get him away. I don't see why his dad was telling him like get him out of there, like that shit didn't make sense. So
Yeah.
I didn't see what his dad was seeing, and I like his dad, bro. I like
His dad was pulling a Teofimo Senior when George
yeah,
when George Cambosis dropped Tio. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? Box this guy!" And then
yeah,
a minute later, he goes, "What the? Knock him the fuck out!"
yeah,
that
yeah. I
was
know.
that was his father telling Boots the instruction.
Yeah,
And
like Nick.
Ryan
Yeah,
Norman Jr.'s father was telling him long time. I think when he was fighting on Pro Box against this Puerto Rican named Bocachica, he was telling him certain instructions, and it's like, no, dude. No, I mean, he wasn't telling him instructions. He was telling him, knock him the fuck out. And it's like,
yeah,
bro, easier said than done.
right,
Tell me how. Don't just tell me what I need to do for the result. Like,
right,
I'm trying to knock this motherfucker out, but how do
yeah,
I do it? You know?
yeah.
And it's a lot of these father trainer relationships.
Hmm.
Yes, a lot of these fathers do a great job, starting up. But when you got to adjust, when you have to actually switch up your game plan and really study your opponent, not what you saw in film, right? But you have to adapt to changing circumstances in the fight. You have to adapt every minute, sometimes every 30 seconds in a round because this fighter is very diverse and versatile, right?
Yeah,
And it showed me that Boots nor his father wanted to adapt. It reminded me when Terrence Bud Crawford was fighting Mean Machine and
hmm,
Bud Crawford got dropped. Andre Ward said something like, you know what? I'm going to stop calling for Bud to box because I know he's not going to do it. So these guys as fighters, they're so hell-bent on, oh, man, I got to cut off the ring or I got to get the knockout, But sometimes you can't. And you have to not take a lot of punches throughout the way. Now, this made for a very great, entertaining fight. To be honest with you, I didn't know Karen Chechunian had it in him to fight like this.
hmm,
I didn't think so. Not based on footage, not based on the first fight that he fought against Boots Ennis. So I think Boots was expecting the same way. And much like Abdullah Mason was getting caught with left hooks, bro, Jaron Boots Ennis, I thought he was going to get dropped a few times.
yeah,
He was getting hit right on the kisser. He could not take away those left hooks. Shout out to Karen, bro, because that dude came to fight. He gave a hell of a performance. Honestly, bro, I thought it was a draw.
yeah,
Like the first 4 rounds, I gave 3 of them to Karen. And then the championship rounds, you can give to Karen. You know what I mean? And if you're fair and impartial, you take away 1 point from Boots' low blows as you take away a point from the excessive holding to Karen, and you got yourself a fucking draw. I thought this fight was extremely good, bro. Like I was like, yo, I didn't fucking know Karen had it in him. And I'm like, damn, Boots, you're trying to do everything, throw the kitchen sink, and this fucking dude Karen isn't going away.
yeah. Yeah. Boots. It's the same. It was the same exact fight as the first one, except
Hell no.
yeah. I think it was, bro. Like Boots did a lot better in the beginning rounds, but I think Karen connect some better shots this time. You know, like he got him like pretty like I think he was hurt, bro. You know, I think Boots was hurt in this fight,
Oh,
but
he was definitely hurt.
you know, in this fight, but I think that was because he was doing so well in that position, and Karen managed to find a shot, and that's what happened, bro. Like that's what happens. You take more risk, you're there to get hit, you know. So I feel like Boots wasn't doing that in the beginning in the first fight, but um, it was definitely like the same shit though. Like they did probably the same conditioning, the same fucking workout, like the same everything. It was the same product, you know. So I don't know. It's just it was good. If anything, Karen made a name for himself, and he's actually gonna and he's here to stay, bro. Like he's going to give a lot of welterweights problems, bro. I don't know who he fights next, but it better be someone good because he's gonna be right there, bro. He's gonna be right there to he probably be in an upset, bro. Like, you know, so I I like Karen, bro.
Adi
So
Medi says, I need a trilogy.
fuck that. I don't want a trilogy.
What, bro? You're dude. Hold on. Let me show you some of these. I know I'm not supposed to show the
But
zone,
he's 0-2 though. He's
but
0-2.
hold
That
on,
doesn't
bro.
make
I
sense.
know I'm not supposed to show the zone highlights because you know they'll strike this
Oh,
down.
you're gonna get
Bro,
striked,
this
bro.
was a good ass fucking fight. Hold on.
You're gonna get striked.
Just laser focused on his opponent right now. Showing you the footwork he's showing.
Oh, bro. You're tripping, bro. You're tripping, Drew. Dude, Karen did his thing, bro. That dude was fighting extremely well. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. 3 out of the first 4 rounds, Karen won. Championship rounds, Karen won, bro. And I'm sure you can find a round or two in the middle. Look, body language in the middle of the rounds or when Boots dropped Karen, yeah, you can't give Karen those rounds off body language alone, you know? But nah, bro, this was a very good fight. This was, how do I explain? What fight was this like? I'm not going to lie to you, bro. This was like Miguel Cotto versus Floyd Mayweather.
No
This
way.
was better than Bivol versus Bitterbeef. This is a good ass fucking fight. I would love to see a trilogy. Bro, it got to the point where at the post conference, right, when Greg Mannix is asking questions to Boots, I thought Boots was going to cry. You can see him, you know, choking on his words. You know, he starts to second guess and doubt himself. Man, I need to go to 154 because, you know, maybe I outgrew, my punches weren't strong enough. The reality, bro, is Karen is strong. Karen is durable. Karen is a survivor and a fighter, and you win a real fucking fight. This ain't Sergey Lipinets. This ain't these fake fights where Clayton clashes or that Canadian dude. You're in a real fucking fight. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, this
Boots
is a
couldn't
full
understand what was going wrong. He expected this dude to run and circle like he did in the first fight. No siree. This dude came to fight. He came to box. He came to punch with you in the pocket, you know, make you miss by a little bit, make you pay because he knew that you were going to press for the knockout. And, bro, hook, line, and sinker, you were eating these jabs, left hands, and left hooks. Nah, man, I would love to see a trilogy. I know everybody wants to see unification, Boots versus Barrios, Boots versus Brian Norman Jr., and, you know, whoever the other champion is at welterweight. But, bro, you still need a trilogy with Karen. You know, it wasn't that bad of a performance, honestly, from Boots. But the fact that he's so second-guessing himself that he wants to move up to 154, if you can't knock out Karen, if you can't beat, you know, I mean, you can beat Karen, but if you can't knock him out or, you know, if you're second-guessing yourself, what do you think Israel Madrimov's going to do to you? Bud Crawford at 154. Madrimov, the weakest link is Vergil between those 3 dudes or 4 dudes, but nah, man, I think you got to just relax and understand that your power is really good. You know, I don't think a lot of people can knock out Karen Boots, like flatline him. I don't think so. Boots probably the biggest puncher at 147 up there with Brian Norman. I would love to see Karen, you know, running back for a trilogy. I'm sure Eddie Hearn won't do that, but I would love to see him against like an Alexis Rocha or even a Giovanni Santillan if he can't get in line next with Brian Norman.
What about Karen?
Great fucking fight, bro.
What about Karen versus Norman though?
I would love to see it. You know, if Brian Norman thinks that he can knock out Karen, I would love to see it. I don't think so because Karen isn't going to come to fight Well, he could come to fight, but he's not going to just stand in the pocket with you like Giovanni Santillán. No, he's gonna move lateral. He's gonna pivot. He's gonna have you turning, and he's gonna drop you like Bohachuik did. You know, and see, Brian Norman thinks he's all that great because he's on cloud 9 after that stellar performance against Giovanni Santillán.
Yeah.
Karen don't fight like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. If Boots goes up to 154, I think Karen's the best welterweight right now.
Yeah, dude, like he's a threat, bro. So I'm trying to think of the 147 pounders. Hey, what about Karen versus Tank? No, I'm just kidding. But you know, I'm trying to think of 147 pounders. It's kind of empty-ish a little bit. What do you think? Because Brian Norman's not. He's good, but I feel like he needs to prove it to me first. You know, before and you know, fighting like a Karen would be great. But you know, I think shit, I did want Boots. You know, but he overpriced himself or something like that. But yeah, man, I'm trying to think that. What do you say, like Rocha or Blair? Fucking you know, there's Barrios.
The best thing for Karen or, you know, Brian Norman, it just be as active as you possibly can. See, everyone right now, see, this is what I'm trying to mean. There's some real fucking fighters that are very good that promoters need to pick up. You know, guys like Edwin de los Santos, guys like Karen, right? These dudes are extremely good. They're very dangerous, and you can get them for pennies on the dollar, right? And you just got to keep them active. These aren't guys that they're going to be pay-per-view stars or stuff like that. But these are guys that you can win and upset a lot of people. Karen, bro, there was like a small margin of error. Yo, what the fuck is that, bro? Oh, my bad, my bad. It just like a reflection or some shit. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, dude, there's a lot of good fighters that they're called, you know, like a needle in a haystack, a diamond in the rough, where they're gems, bro. That they can bona fidely, if you know what you're looking at, know what you're watching, you pick them up. Edwin de los Santos, Karen, Joe Iriarte, who dropped, you know, Abdullah Mason twice in the amateurs. These are the guys that they can become stars in their own way, in their own right. And I was extremely impressed by Karen, bro. His versatility in the first fight to completely switch it up on the second. You see his physique. He's strong and sturdy. That's why Boots is second guessing himself. That's why Boots feels very, you know, struck that he couldn't get him out in his own hometown of Philadelphia. You know, the fix was in, bro. One judge had it 119 to 111. I mean, not even 119 to 111. It was like 119 to 109 because of the two, you know, knockdown in the point deduction.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, are you kidding me, bro? You didn't give one round to Karen? I mean, not just more than one round?
Yeah, that's bad. I think Karen definitely, like, man, it was close, bro. Like, it was close. I think Ennis gave up the later rounds, bro, but Karen definitely won that third round. I do remember that round. And then, yeah, that was a good round for Karen. You know, so Karen's good, bro. I'm telling you, like, it's just Boots should not be moving up to 154, man. You know, I feel like the power is just different, man. You know, just think of the guys that are up there that are actually punching, bro. You know, so 154 is actually where all the heat's at. 160 is a little empty-ish, but if you can get past 154, then you can do 160. But I don't think he gets past 154, bro. That's the thing. You know, so yeah. Let's see. So yeah,
no, man. Adi Medi goes like this. They might line up Vergil to fight him next. This
Yeah.
reminds me of Canelo versus Triple G 1 and 2. I like how Karen switched it up. No one was expecting it, bro. That's a great comparison. Canelo versus Triple G 1 was like Canelo and Karen, right? He's boxing, he's circling. And then 2, Canelo decides to, you know, push the bully back. Same thing with Karen. I agree, bro. I liked how Karen switched it up. No one was expecting it. Just like how Canelo switched it up. Yup. Whoever KOs Karen will have my utmost respect. I agree.
Yeah.
Adi goes, these are the top 10 rankings. 1, Jaron Ennis. 2, Errol Spence. I mean, you can't put Errol Spence at welterweight. That dude's pretty much semi-retired. Number 3, Stanionis. 4, Barrios. 5, Norman Jr. 6, Conor Benn. 7, Suleiman Sissoko. I think Virgil Hunter trains him. Number 8, Shakram Giyasov. Number 9, Jin Sasaki. And that was number 9. And number 10, Raul Curiel. Honestly, I've heard of the name Shakram Giyasov and Jin Sasaki, but I've never seen them fight, to be honest with you. Look, man, the welterweight division, it's not popping.
Nah.
It could be popping, but it's not popping like when we had Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Kell Brook, Errol Spence, Bud Crawford, Jeff Horn, Pacquiao, Ugas. It's not popping like that. You know why? Because these fighters refuse to fight one another. You see? And that's what's wrong a little bit with the welterweight division. Everybody looks, in terms of an American fan base, they look at Jaron Boots Ennis as the guy at the welterweight division, right? Getting a little bit of traction. But the reality is you just have to fight. You just have to fight. Because if you have Mario Barrios at number 4, right? That means you can easily replace Mario Barrios and put Gervonta Tank Davis at number 4. And we know Tank Davis isn't even a welterweight. So the fact that they have Mario Barrios so rated highly up there, I'm just thinking, I don't even know if Mario Barrios can beat an Alexis Rocha, a Giovanni Santillan. You know what I mean? I don't even know if he can beat Tank Davis at 147. And that's what I'm trying to say with these welterweights. It's like, don't get too big of an ego or too big-headed, because at the end of the day, you guys ain't fought or really done anything. In terms of performances alone, I think Brian Norman has the most shocking and best resume at 147 with the win over Giovanni Santillan. I think he should still rematch Bohachuik. You know what I mean? I didn't go after 4 rounds, and they stopped it after like a head clash, and But yeah, man, I was extremely impressed by Karen, bro. I can't stress the importance of the versatility. I saw that dude. He's very crafty. Not only is he very crafty, he's really genuinely good, bro. He's got a good chin. He's got good defense. He can, like, his pivots, his counter punching ability. That dude is strong.
Yeah.
Very good, bro. Like, damn.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so who else? Yeah, and Bam. Bam also fought. I'm not sure if you're trying to talk about him. But yeah, Bam did his thing too. He got the knockout in the 3rd round. He did really good. I'm not sure, dude. What do you think? He should move up? You think he should move up?
I mean, with Bam, it just depends what he's trying to accomplish. I mean, the kid's 21 years old, right? 22 years old. And a lot of people love his skills. But the thing is this, in my opinion, the guy that he fought, Guevara, that's a good fighter, but he's small, right? Like he was, they moved him up to fight Bam. And Bam beating Gallito Estrada, you're beating a legend, a fighter that's been very inactive, and he dropped you, And his best win, Bam Rodriguez's best win, is Sonny Edwards.
Yeah.
That's his best win, right? And what I'm trying to say is this. Bam has no reason to rush his career. Yes, there's big money to be made versus Naoya Inoue and Junto Nakatani and all of these fighters. But in reality, Bam doesn't need them because he has to move up a lot of weight. You know what I mean? I think Junto Nakatani is at 118 pounds now. I'm sure he can still cut to 115, but I think he's at 118, 122. Naoya Inoue is at 122. Bam Rodriguez, I think he's like between 110, 112 pounds. Just periodically move up. It just depends what they really want to do with Bam's career and how fast they want to accelerate him. Right now, again, I'm not going to say that he has a fake career, but a lot of those fights aren't legitimate, real fights because, everything is catering to Bam Rodriguez, right? He's getting the upside versus Gallito Estrada, Carlos Cuadras, right? And they want to bring out Roman Chocolatito. And when have you last heard the name? When was his last fight? He's probably 1 or 2 years removed, and they're trying to bring him out of retirement. It reminds me of Joshua versus Klitschko. So I'm just like, they're trying to build Bam into this star, and they're doing a really great job. But I just feel like you don't have to rush him to these other weights because I think Bam might be a little chinny, like Abdullah Mason. And it's okay But what I'm trying to say is it all depends what the master plan is for Bam. How big are they trying to accelerate his career and shit like that? Once we
Yeah,
find out what they really want to do and what Robert Garcia is going to do, it's like this. Mikey Garcia could have been special at 135. But obviously, Mikey Garcia had a different intention. He just wanted cash grab. He wanted to move up to 147, right? And fight Errol Spence. Get a big ass paycheck, a pay-per-view fight, a big event, sell out a Cowboy Stadium type of thing, and then retire. That was Mikey Garcia's play, right? He didn't want to grind. He didn't want to become undisputed. So there's different paths of a career that a fighter wants to choose. If I'm managing Bam Rodriguez, I'm like, try to get Chocolatito, try to, see between the winner of Sonny Edwards and Gal Yafai, fight those guys, and then slowly move up in weight. You put him up there against a Junto Nakatani. Nakatani probably knocks him out. Maybe the Australian brothers, the Maloney brothers, probably beat Bam Rodriguez. So they just got to be very methodical and careful because the kid's only 22 years old,
yeah.
So yeah, how do you look at it?
Well, I think he's small, right? Like he's got to be handled with care, like you can't move him up too much because I see what you're saying. He is a little chinny. He does get hit, and you see his body kind of like move back a lot when he gets hit, and it's like, okay, it's not really like his like his footing is not there when he gets hit, a certain way. So I don't know. I think I see what you're saying, but he needs to just add names that can like make his resume look good, and I think Chocolatito would be that icing on the cake, and or that would be like his best name on his resume right there. So I think he shouldn't move up, and he should not be fighting Junto Nakatani, and he did a good job of not of avoiding Inoue, So um yeah, because he's small, bro. He's 5'4". Not a lot of dudes are like 5'4", and his dudes are usually like 5'6", 5'7", and they're able to fight down at his weight, but they have a bigger frame, so they can move up a lot easier. But with Bam, it's like, nah, he's not really hitting like that. And he's not really like he's putting dudes away, but these guys are like moving up, you
Yeah.
know. So, so I don't know. I don't see I think he should not be moving up. Just add names, get that check, So um yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, man, there wasn't just that one on that card though. As far as that card though, the the upset was that Gallegos fight, the Khalil Cole versus Manuel Gallegos.
Got you. I don't think I saw that one, honestly.
Yeah, that was an upset, bro. People were calling for that one on the podcast, and I was just ignoring it because I didn't know too much about Khalil Cole, and
Yeah.
the odds were crazy, bro. Like he was like a minus 400 to knock him out, and I think money line was like minus 2,000. So that was a crazy upset. He just got tired and shit. So that was a good fight to watch too. Raymond Ford, he got a crazy knockdown, but he never got the knockout. So I was like, damn, how does that happen? But because the way it looked like he should have got him out of there. But I guess he's still a fundamentally sound boxer, and yeah, he got this decision against this dude Orlando Gonzalez. I'm not sure if you heard of him. And then Ammo fought. He got the knockout. He did pretty good. This dude was 11-1, and the odds were like crazy tight, bro. And this dude got the knockout, and that shit wasn't even favorite. I think it was like minus or plus 800 or something like that for Ammo to get the knockout, and he got the knockout. I was like, damn.
Adi
So
Mehdi said, my comment on Khalil Cole a few months ago didn't age well. I said that he would be the next Tank Davis. So explain what happened in that fight, Drew. Was it competitive? Did he get
yeah, it
sparked?
was good, dude.
What happened?
Khalil Cole got tired. That's what happened.
Uh,
He kept his hands down, and then Gallegos was just letting loose on him, bro. Like he was taking the shots well, but he was just taking too much of them. You know, like it was like, bro, like we get that you're not hurt, and these punches don't hurt you, but you cannot be having your head rocked back like a fucking like a like I don't know, like a fucking bouncing ball, bro. Like you, but he was still there, you know, and he actually came back and gave him a good one, bro, and actually hurt him. But it was his his uh his consistency and his punching output was just too much for Cleo Cole, bro. Like he ended up just not he just left his hands down and just ref stopped it, bro. Like he didn't really he got yeah, he got dropped or and he actually took a knee a couple times and just because he was just tired, bro. I don't think he was hurt. He was just fucking tired. So um people were calling for the upset, bro, and I just ignored it, bro, because I didn't know too much. But this guy was like a one of those like highly touted like amateurs, bro. I think he was like an alternate, like an Olympic alternate.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see if he went to the Olympics, but nah, he was just one of those guys that was around in the amateur circuit that was like really good and winning nationals and shit. But but yeah, he got he got upset, bro. So yeah.
Got you. Let me
But
show you why Jaron
oh,
Boots Ennis
sorry.
shouldn't be, I guess, so hard on himself. Watch
Who?
this. Jaron Boots Ennis when he fought Karen, because he was like, man, my power isn't the same. I got to move up to 154. So right here in the 5th round, Karen throws a right hand. And Boots, as a southpaw, he pivots, or not pivots, he just makes a miss, right? Dips, and then he counters over the top, right? Boom!
Oh,
A lot
nice.
of people with that shot, with that slipping counter, that rolling shot over the top, get
Mm-hmm.
dropped. That same punch right there was the same move that Josh Taylor used against Jose Ramirez on the first knockdown. Not that clinch uppercut. When Jose Ramirez fell face first, this was the same sequence of punch. The slip, 2 over the top, right? That's just how strong Karen is, bro. It's not how weak Boots is. It's more how strong Karen is. That slip and counter, a lot of people will get their lights like knocked out, bro. You're gonna be seeing little ducks and floating stars. Not Karen. Now he was close, bro. Look how he buckles.
Yeah.
I mean, he don't even really buckle that much, but you see that he just fucking gets rung. And then body shot here, the right hook here, and I think this is the round where Karen gets dropped. And even then, he's still strong enough to look how Boots' whole body, like that dude is strong, bro, that he's able to turn him and make Boots miss in action. That's not how weak Boots is. It's more of a testament of how fucking difficult, sturdy, tough, and strong
Yeah.
Karen is. Now let's watch this in real time. It happened so fast, but check this out. Bear with me, folk. Let me put this audio so you guys can enjoy this moment.
And that stagger took his on. Nice flurry for Boots, and he caught him with a left there. And that stagger took his on.
All right. That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful work from Boots. That is, I don't know how Karen is still standing from that punch. Where he got hit with a nasty right hook to the body, a right hook to the temple, and he still like, get the fuck off me. Not a lot of people can do that, bro. And that's why that just shows me the toughness of Karen, bro. I've never seen a tough male Karen like that. Never, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
this dude is representing the Karens of the world extremely well, dog. Like, that's all I gotta say. Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, no, he's made a name for himself, bro. So that's why I'm saying like he's definitely here to stay. And this isn't the last time, bro. Like we might see him on a co-main or some shit. Wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, man. So next I guess it's Vergil, but I really wanted to talk about the first fights of that card. But whenever you're ready, are you
Yeah. Hey, Speed, my check real quick, bro. I know
Yeah.
that you got those little birds in the background.
No. Those little guys are. I already put the blanket over them. They're. It's night for them. Good even fall to one and all. Good even fall to you, homie. Good even fall to you, Dream. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So one of our commenters right here, and good even fall to the Mexican, Arimeri, and Mexican boxing number one. Always a pleasure running into you guys. Let me see who says this, right? Somebody says something. I think let me see. Mexican boxing says Ryan and Virgil stops clown. Um okay. The reason he's saying that, right, is because of what was apparently uh, blatant as day a defensive flaw and something that he couldn't correct while in the fight, which is Jaron Boots Ennis' propensity to take a left hook, right? And and of course we know that a person like Ryan Garcia has an incredible, fast, incredibly powerful left hook. And we also know that another guy, this guy, a natural 154 pounder, and Virgil Ortiz Jr., he has an incredible left hook also. So that's the reason why he's saying that. And I agree that if any of those guys end up hitting Boots, they'll harm him. I don't think Ryan Garcia would necessarily harm him as much as, let's say, Virgil Ortiz. But the fact of the matter is this: I think Karen Karen Chukhedzinian is a much better fighter than all of those guys. I think Karen has much more in his arsenal than all of those two dudes combined. The only thing that he does not have is perhaps to say the power of 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 uh, of Virgil Ortiz, right? He doesn't have the killer instinct, I guess we can say, right? Because that's one thing that we do know about Virgil. He has a killer instinct. When you hurt him, he comes back and gets his
I
points,
forgot about
right?
Charles Conwell. Bro, Charles Conwell got
When
off.
you hurt Virgil, he's gonna get those points back, and especially if he hurts you, he's gonna go for the kill. We don't see that in Karen. And when it comes to comparing Karen to, let's say, somebody like Ryan Garcia, levels, levels over Ryan Garcia's skill. The only thing that you can say that Ryan has on Boots would be the left hook. Every other thing is taken away from him. And in fact, the good thing is about a fight like this, where somebody like Boots survives a fight like this, is that he's gonna learn because it's a natural boxer, not just a counterpuncher, not just a come forward aggressive brawler, a natural boxer who studies, a guy who we know has been hailed to be the next guy up. This guy, he's an intelligent fighter. He will learn from this. And he won't be making those mistakes afterwards. So if you guys think that we're just gonna put him up there with Virgil Ortiz and all of a sudden he's gonna get knocked out by a hook, it's possible. It's possible with Virgil, not so much with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia would get pieced apart by that guy. And I don't think we can attribute or give any type of credit to both Virgil and Ryan on account that Karen performed so greatly. That was a stellar performance. And I'm glad that the world got to see it because we know that that guy can turn it up and switch it up on any given moment. He can become a counter puncher, a backwards bitch moving fighter. And then he could just be the aggressor, coming forward, stepping to you, combining his punches, throwing in the pocket, collapsing it to bring it to you. This guy is an incredible fighter, and I want to see more of Karen than I would say let's say Ryan Garcia any day. Boots is a good fighter, incredibly good fighter. Karen Karen was spectacular.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, man. I would agree completely, man. It was a really good performance. With Ryan Garcia, I just feel like Ryan Garcia should stay at 140. Maybe he can make rematches at 147 with Devin Haney, maybe 140 or call up Tank Davis at 147, 140 ish, Teofimo Lopez. Ryan Garcia should be making like real fights, but exhibition real fights. Because Ryan don't really need to become a champion because that's not really who he's going to be. As a champion or as a legitimate boxer, he will fail you. But as a fighter, Just have these fucking big fights for your career. And that's it. Make your money. Whoop some ass, make some money. You know, Ryan has he doesn't care to be a champion. He doesn't care to be unified or undisputed, but that doesn't mean Ryan is not a talented fighter. And that's what he has to look at himself is like, fight these dudes and make mega events. Kind of like Jake Paul, but you don't have to fight like retired fighters, you know, because you're young, you're in your moment, and you're a legit fucking fighter. But, you know, just make big and grand events that is going to generate a lot of pay-per-view sales. That's what Ryan needs to do. He's a superstar, but not like a boxing champion star type of shit, you know? Guys like William Zepeda would beat Ryan Garcia, you know what I mean? But, wait, did I say William Zepeda? Okay, yeah. You know, guys like that, like stay away from because it's like you knock them out, people aren't going to give you, you know, and then guys like Duarte might just hurt you and stuff. So I don't know, man. I just feel like Ryan going up to Jaron Boots Ennis. Ryan does a great job of keeping his name relevant in the sport of boxing. I will say this. Boxing has been a little lackluster without Ryan Garcia. I don't like Ryan Garcia. Not really. I don't really care what he stands for. But when it comes down to entertainment value, he's a wild card. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. And he makes for good theater, for good drama show. But as for like him to be on a pound for pound list and be a Mexican-American legend, I mean, he can be like Andy Ruiz and accomplish those type of things where he can knock out unified, you know, undefeated champions like Anthony Joshua, like Ryan did to Devin Haney. But, you know, if you expect Andy Ruiz to be this amazing Hall of Famer legend, Ryan Garcia is going to follow into those footsteps. And, you know, you're going to be like, fuck, you let down. We read a couple of these comments. So Mexican G retracted a few messages, but I think he would say Vergil would whoop Boots.
Wait. Who retracted his messages?
I think the Mexican G would just clean
Oh,
up.
okay. I would not never. I was gonna say Adi Medi would never retract nothing.
Mexican boxing #1, he goes, we rule boxing. The Mexican G follows it up with saying, man, Boots ain't shit. Hot job. Ryan Wood sleep Boots. Adi Medi goes, Karen showed up like he was a fresh from boot camp, my guy, and Vergil would maul him. I don't know about Vergil beating Boots because Karen did what he did. I think Chakusian has more in his arsenal than Ortiz Jr. Messages retracted. Adi Medi goes, Charles Conwell sleeps everyone at 154, and I bet my house on it, like I did with what was the other guy's name? Khalil Cole. Drew, I know that when Speed was talking about, you got really excited of Charles Conwell. What do you know about the man?
Oh no, I wanted to say what I just typed out right here. I said that he got offered the Boots fight at 154.
I see.
But he turned it down. And that's someone I kind of forgot about, bro. Like that dude like reminds me of a fucking Smoking Joe Frazier, bro. Like he has that style, bro. Like but he's like a miniature version of him, bro. Like he's come forward, dude. Like he will knock everyone out at 154, I think, bro. Like no one wants that smoke, bro.
Who? What? Who?
Conwell.
Who is this combo person?
He is a good ass boxer, bro. He is not only a good boxer, but he is a power puncher, bro. He will find ways to knock you out, bro. Like if you're good enough, you'll go the distance. But I think dudes have gone the distance with him, but he's tough, bro. Like he is the Mexican fighter, bro. Like he has come forward, bro. Yeah, bro. Like
So right here on the screen, he's 20-0, 15 KOs, 27 years old, 5'9", short arm length, 70.
Where did he fight?
Hasn't
I
really
didn't
fought
see him.
anybody though. Juan Carlos Abregu sounds familiar. Oh, Juan Carlos Rubio, 18-0. Oh, damn, Rainbow Wheel. I'm gonna have to get off Boxer because I haven't updated my computer since 2018, so it's gonna strike it down.
Damn.
Yeah. You hear I don't know if you guys can hear the fan on my laptop, but yeah. Man.
Yeah, that's damn. I thought it was a helicopter.
Yeah,
it does. And then StreamYard has it's a very strong processor, so it overheats, and my MacBook has to open up the fan. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
no,
better back up your stuff,
very
bro.
interesting.
That's the
I've never
thing.
seen Charles Conwell, but but when you got a record like that, I'm surprised that I haven't really heard too much of it. Who's the promoter? Who you fight for?
Hmm.
Um, I don't know his promoter, bro. Like I'm actually looking at it right now. Um, but yeah, dude, he's fucking. Well, he's with the Zone first of all, and he fights with he's under Eddie Hearn. Um, so yeah, bro, I'm trying to see right here. Fuck. Yeah.
Hey, you don't have to necessarily say curse words, man.
Well, sorry, man. Fuck.
I
Sorry.
will.
But yeah, no,
And
Conwell knocked out Nathaniel Gilmore,
Oh,
Gilmore,
uh
okay,
yeah,
I know Nate.
yeah.
JC Abreu, JC Rubio. Dude, like this guy has a good resume already, or a solid resume, you know. He's got names already, but he's building it, and right now he's just, finding his way. He's knocking dudes out though. Regardless of your record, like he's knocked out dudes who were undefeated. He's knocked out I think like 4 or 5 undefeated guys already. So I'm
Where
looking
can I
right
watch him?
here. He's on the zone, bro.
Yeah, but when did he last fight so that I can
Uh
check him out?
August 10th against this dude named Kerry Gray. Knocked him out in
Mm.
the second round. Um this dude's the truth, man.
Oh
But
no, 154 is stacked, guys. We just saw Murtasaliev destroy Tim
some
Sue.
guys,
Tim Sue was
yeah.
the man of the day.
Yeah, but
Adi
this
Medi
guy,
says, correction, guys. Well, not correction. You guys been saying he's on the zone. But Adi Medi goes, Charles Conwell is going to fight on the Alexis Rocha versus Curiel card. So stay tuned. Vergil
Wow,
promotes him. Mexican
nice.
number one goes, Karen looked amazing. I
Hmm.
want to see John Orobio fight Ryan Garcia in Canada. Do you guys know who John Orobio is?
Um,
no, no.
so look, I'm not too sure if this is a Rubio, right? But there's this guy that's been engaging me a lot, and this guy is what he calls himself a shadow promoter. I think that just
Not
means
him,
he's
bro.
a hype man
Not him.
for all the Canadian and German Cubans, right? He's all up on the hype train of William Skull. He's all up on the hype train of the kid that just fought over the weekend in Canada, Eye of the Tiger. He's Osles Iglesias, right? And he's all up on this John Orobio guy. So I would think he's probably a Cuban living abroad, and I think he's pretty young. And this guy's telling me that he would knock out Carmel Mutton, Tank Davis, that he would knock out all of these dudes. I've never heard of the guy. That's what
And
I'm trying to say. I've never heard of the guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's from Canada because there's some talents out there and some. I think they're Cuban trainers that have moved to Canada to train some guys over there, and they do look spectacular. Osles Iglesias and this one kid, his name is something Matthew. Something Matthew looked very spectacular over the weekend. But yeah, I don't know who this John Rubio is, but I keep hearing about him. Colombian. Okay, Colombia. Yeah, see, Eddie Medi's just very astute. Yeah, Eddie, who has he fought and where and where can we watch him? Because I want to check him out.
of course, you would want to check him out. This fool.
Wilkins Matthew. Yep, yep. There you go. I made I uploaded a video, a short reaction from the Screaming Madman of Wilkins Matthew. He looked very spectacular. He looked very, very good. So did Osles Iglesias. Osles Iglesias, guys, he's ranked number 3 and 2 sanctioning bodies for Canelo's belt. What do you guys think about that?
Say it again. Say it
I don't
again.
know. It's too soon to be talking about Canelo Alvarez, bro. Like,
Say it again.
I don't really care.
Well, okay, there's this guy named Osles Iglesias. He's another Cuban fighter. He's living in Germany, and he's another one of those Cubans that lives in Germany that is ranked. Like, for example, we have William School that just about 3 weeks ago he attained a vacant IBF belt that Canelo refused to defend against him. He picked that up. And then we have Osles Iglesias, who just fought over the weekend for Eye of the Tiger over there in Montreal, Canada. And he looked spectacular. This guy looked so fluid, had so many punch combinations. He looked stellar. Uh, he's a dog. He's not the typical Cuban fighter that's just outboxing. This guy was like, okay, I trained too hard for me to move back. I'm gonna go over there and I'm just gonna destroy you. And it's exactly what he did. He walked over there and just pieced apart his opponent. And Oslis Iglesias is now ranked number 3 and 2 sanctioning bodies for Canelo's um, super middleweight. So this guy could be one of the guys that Canelo soon defends against if he wants to hold on to the 168 title. What do you think about that, Dream?
I don't know. Like Rick said, it's too soon to talk about Canelo right now. I think we need more answers as far as what fights are gonna go down with Bivol and Beterbiev, because that's who he's looking at, and Benavidez.
Yeah. Well, I think Benavidez is a light heavyweight, no? Anyways,
Oh,
so
my bad.
Oslis Iglesias and Morel are always trying to outshine each other. That's the thing. They have like this personal thing that they want to represent their island of Cuba to see who is the most dominant. And of course, now it just doesn't really make the same kind of sense because one guy stayed at 168, the other guy went up to 175. At least as far as we know, David Morel, that's where he's fighting at now, chasing after the other David Benavidez, the Mexican monster. And yeah, I just thought Oslis looked good. He was probably against the kind of opponent that he would have looked good against anyways. But I mean, you're only gonna, fight whoever they put up against you, right? But as far as styles, yeah, does this guy look competitive? Absolutely. Does he look quick? Does he look strong? Does he look fast? Does he look like the kind of fighter that would actually put up a very good fight against Canelo? I absolutely think so. Osles Iglesias looks very, very good. Now, of course, before we start talking about Canelo, like the homie Ricky stated, yeah, he needs to be tested with someone else that'll, bring out whether or not he's proven and tested to take on such a legendary shoe and Hall of Famer like the Redhead, right? I would say he should fight an Edward Berlanga. I would say he should even fight a Caleb Plant, Jaime Mugia, just anybody, so that he can cement and seal his shot at the big purse against the legendary Mexican before the Mexican decides to vacate the belt and give it up for somebody else, right? Because that's what he'll do. If these Cuban fighters, if these mandatories do not put up a good performance, he's not going to give him a shot. He's not going to fight William Skull because he put up one of the worst performances in the attainment of a belt that I've seen in years. William Skull against Vladimir Shishkin looked, I'm not going to say it, but it does begin with the letter B and it ends with the letter M, and there's only one vowel in between.
Yeah, man. That's yeah, it's too early to talk about Canelo for me. We got to see, like I said, what's gonna go down with all those belts. But yeah, those guys are better than we thought. Those Cuban guys from Germany. William Skull is good, but I feel like he's more of a 160 pounder, and he shouldn't be in the ring with Canelo, bro. I think like Berlanga has a puncher's chance against a solid puncher's chance against William Skull, you know. But anyways, did you guys see the Shakur's little cousin, Joaquin Moses?
Yeah,
He's good, huh?
you look good.
He's good, and I think he's taking it. He took it easy on that guy, but he's another guy, bro. Like that's gonna be around for, like you're gonna hear his name, bro. Like he's gonna be another. He reminds me a lot of Keyshawn, but yeah, this guy's still developing, but he's good, man. He's still growing into his man strength, so we'll see what's up with that guy. But yeah, man.
That's funny.
I want to talk about Mason, bro. That Mason fight.
Yeah, bro, man, you guys talking about Canelo, man. I'm tired of fucking talking about Canelo.
Yeah, me too.
Emiliano Vargas, does he beat Abdullah Mason? He's got a way better left hook. He's taller, he's stronger, he's prime. He doesn't have skeleton legs like that dude that dropped up, Abdullah Mason twice. What you think, bro? At
That's a
first, I was like kind of skeptical, but I don't know, man. That chin, that shoulder roll, it's not as tight as Pretty Boy Floyd. I think Emiliano Vargas takes him, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but now I do.
Nah, I mean, it's 50-50 for me, bro. Mason.
Oh, without a doubt, for sure, it's just 50-50.
It's 50-50, bro. Just because Mason showed a shit ton of heart, bro. Like this guy showed Top Rank exactly what they wanted to see, and
Which was what?
which
Chinny?
was taking resiliency. Well, they probably seen it, bro. Like they probably seen it in the in sparring. They probably knew about it. And that's why they build him up, and they put him in there against the right guys, and nothing more, nothing less. And I think something a little more would have hurt fucking Mason, bro. I mean, yeah, Mason gets me nervous now, bro. The guy is a solid fighter. It's just the body. Sometimes the body doesn't want to keep up with you. And I just feel like, man, how do you get, man, just somewhat disappointing, to see him get dropped like that twice, especially in the heat of the moment, bro. Like that was one of the craziest sequences, bro, like in a round, bro. Like the second round was insane, bro. So those are the things they're gonna remember you for. And he's like a Diego Corrales or something, bro, or something.
He's extremely young, so he can clean it up.
Yeah.
But it's always something to consider, when you're like, I don't think Abdullah Mason gets dropped a lot in sparring because it reminds me like the stories of Amir Khan. When you put Amir Khan headgear, he's untouchable. His fucking hand speed, he has that extra layer of protection that protects and conceals his chin from really hard damage, right? Amir Khan gave Sean Porter great work, Manny Pacquiao great work, Jose Benavidez Jr., but that headgear comes off, bro, that boy legs looking like dancing like spaghetti, Same thing with Abdullah Mason. There's only a select few fighters that can really catch these dudes in sparring, And, there was a fighter named Joel Iriarte who signed with Golden Boy. I showed you guys the amateur boxing that they had. Guys like him could touch Abdullah Mason's chin. But take that headgear off, bro. I think Emiliano Vargas has a really great chance of doing a lot of damage. Not that we will see that fight anytime soon. Top Rank protect their prospects. They get it wrong when they put up guys like that guy against Abdullah Mason, guys like that dropped Robeisy Ramirez. Those are accidental mistakes. That's not supposed to happen. That's not the script. That's not what the matchmakers do. They don't really put their prospects up against another prospect. Now, what Top Rank does do is, what's that fighter that's with, he's a welterweight. He's from Mexico, but that's with Robert Garcia. Sometimes he looks really good. Other times he looks kind of like mediocre.
Are you talking about
Luis Delgado? What's his name?
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm just calling him Luis Delgado. That Delgado kid, right?
Yeah.
He's a prospect. He's very good. Probably top 25 contender. He's never fought another top-ranked prospect, but he has fought this badass fighter from Mexico that was like 22-0 with 20 KOs. Yeah. They'll fight and matchmake some other promotional companies' prospect up against theirs, but they don't ever like have internal beefs. You'll never see Shakur versus Keyshawn, Abdullah Mason versus Keyshawn Davis. That's not Top Rank's modus operandi. They'll put them each other on each other's undercards, but they'll never have them fight and pin one another. They'll always have like this little rift that, Emiliano Vargas, hosting his team with his brothers, Abdullah Mason with his brothers, blah, blah, blah,
You're talking about Aguilar, huh?
There you go. Yeah, Aguilar, yeah. Lindolfo Delgado, that's right. I call him Luis Delgado. Correct. He beats Mason for sure. So Lindolfo Delgado, he's at 140. Yes, sir. Thank you guys for the correction. Appreciate it, Sean. Absolutely. Top Rank, that's how Top Rank operates. So, but yeah, man, I guess it's wishful thinking. However, it would be nice to see that fucking fight, bro. I would love to see that fight. I just like to see these young fighters get tested. You know, there's only a few guys like Teofimo Lopez that when opportunity presents itself, right? Like that fight against Lomachenko. There's only a few fighters that are very young with like less than 15, 10 fights rise up to the occasion. Maybe that was by mistake. Maybe
Yeah, that
Lomachenko
does not seem
overpaid
to
the
be
fat.
Abdullah's. That does not seem to be Abdullah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
no, you
that
might be
does
right.
not seem to be Abdullah. See, here's the thing, right? When we look at Abdullah, you do see the potential to be a multi-weight division champion, right? You see it. Um, he has the body, he has the height, he can fill in into that body well. He's already at 135, just to jump real quick to 140 because he already looks like he'd be capable at 140. Um, he may just be outgrowing 135, and maybe that's the reason why he was chinny. Then again, he is also a Muslim. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Muslims, I don't think right now is when they fast, but you know, we do know a lot of fighters that are Muslim. Once they're very skillful, very quick. You know, they're very good and talented individuals. We've seen too many of them. You know, the Prince Nassim Hamed and the Mir Khans and the Kill Brooks. Actually, the Kill Brook could take a punch, right? But then, as soon as you hit him flush in the chin, they drop.
Not
No,
better
I
than.
don't want to. I don't want to say that that is a commonality with all Muslim fighters, but we just saw it again in the case of Abdullah Mason. Maybe he's chinny because whatever his diet is. Maybe he's outgrowing the weight and he's no longer able to safely make weight without dehydration of his brain to put him in that kind of a mental status where he can just easily get rocked, right? But Abdullah Mason is only 20. I think he just barely turned 20 a couple of months ago. He has the whole world ahead of him. If they move him right, if they develop him well enough, he could correct these things. He could become a multi-weight champion because when we see Abdullah Mason fight, how he fights, how he beats his opponents, there's no one else that looks as capable of being the next guy as him. Emiliano Vargas, yes, he has that it factor. Abdullah Mason has that it factor. How many other young guys do they seem to have that effect? You guys talked about Carmel Mutton. Yeah, he has it. He definitely has it, especially since he has this semblance and the physique to similar to Gervonta Tank Davis, and we know what Gervonta Tank Davis is capable. Not necessarily that he has done, but he is capable of doing. Yes, we can say that Camille Mutton is one of those guys. But of all the people that I've looked at, of all of the youngsters, right, I would bet my money that Abdullah Mason is the next guy up. Maybe not the biggest superstar. That sure will probably go to Emiliano if they move him well. He's got the Mexican, the Chicano, the Hispanic, you know, people supporting him more so than they say the Abdullahs, the Masons, because he's Muslim. He's not just a regular black. He's not an ACE black Methodist or whatever they call him. Those people that sing in this church. No, he's a Muslim. So of course he's not gonna have as many followers. Nonetheless, this guy, I would put money that Abdullah Mason is going to be the next guy up, guys. And just because he had a bad performance, the good thing is he survived. He will take this as a learning lesson and he will make the necessary corrections. Do I want to see him and Emiliano Vargas fight? Yeah. In due time, that'll be the best fight possible between these youngsters.
Adi
Yeah,
Medi goes, where do we rank Keyshawn Davis at?
Mm.
I don't know.
You mean
I'm
like a
not gonna lie, I
pound for
went
pound
pretty
or?
high. I would love to see Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin de los Santos.
And
Keyshawn Davis versus Pitbull. I don't think we'll get those fights. Clearly not an Edwin de los Santos. Because, Keyshawn Davis, he don't even want to fight, his stepfather, Cuban. You guys know where I'm going with. Andy El Vato Cruz. He will never, well, I don't know if he never, but he should fight Keyshawn Davis. I mean, yeah, Andy Cruz versus Keyshawn Davis. Man, he don't even want to fight him. So that will give, maybe he'll fight Pitbull because he has the advantages, the size and the height. But I don't know where I would rank Keyshawn Davis. That was a very good fight, performance that is. But I mean, I don't really rate Richard Hitchinson or Richard Hitchens or whatever his name is. I think Leon Parr was gonna beat him. But yeah, no, man. I'm extremely impressed with Keyshawn Davis. I loved his performance that he had against Pedraza as well. Guys like Arnold Barbosa, Jones Cepeda, and Jose Ramirez couldn't knock out. And Keyshawn Davis was able to just piece Pedraza apart. Now,
Pieced him apart.
Pedraza was a completely different Pedraza that fought those other Mexican fighters. This Pedraza painted his nails against Keyshawn Davis. I didn't see no painted nails and no rainbow Tekashi 6ix9ine rainbow hair when he fought those Mexican fighters. So this might be a little, cis female over here. You know what I mean? But be that as it may, I was extremely impressed by Keyshawn Davis. Yeah, Mexican boxing goes, man, put him up there against Raymond Murataya. Shit. Yes, Raymond, he's a very interesting case because sometimes you're like, damn, bro, this dude has a 72, 74-inch arm length. This dude hits hard. But then sometimes you see his performances and you're like, damn, bro, that shit is lackluster. Like, where the fuck are your skills? You can't cut off the ring. You can't knock out Tevin Farmer. Like, what the is going on? And then there's other performances where you're like, damn, bro, he did that to Jeremiah Nakatali. He's way better than Shakur. So you never know, bro. Like, it's just so weird with Raymond Murataya. I believe that he, against certain styles, that he'll really dominate. But at the same time, there's exploits where if you're not there or if he can't catch you or find you, he's going to struggle. But yeah, man, Raymond Murataya, I feel maybe he just needs to get really tested and fight real fucking fights. And then maybe we'll see the best out of Raymond. But I don't know, man. He's a predicament for sure.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what
he's
watching goes. They're overhyping him, Andy Cruz. Yeah, I don't think Andy Cruz is all that special. He doesn't have that power, but in terms of boxing skill and throwing a lot of punches, he's up there with the Cubans. I want to see Keyshawn versus Frank Warren. Yeah, that's a cool fight. Yo, who's playing that stuff in the background?
not me.
So no, it's my son. He's just being a jerk right now. Um,
More
look,
like
and
Murataya.
Keyshawn Davis. Look, this. If it wasn't for the Pedraza fight, right, we could say that Keyshawn Davis is a typical fighter who will win every single fight as long as he has physical advantages over foes, right? There's those type of fighters, guys. There's the type of fighters that just whenever they're presented with somebody that's their height or bigger, especially bigger, they're unable to overcome those odds, right? And we sort of saw that that Keyshawn Davis is the potential type of fighter that could beat anybody that's smaller than him, right? I mean, when we saw this guy come in 6, 7 pounds heavier than him, this Lemos guy, this Argentinian who everybody was considering to be the next Maidana, Marcos Maidana. Really, I don't know why. Just because he's a come forward person from Argentina, why don't you just call him the next Mexican guy, right? It doesn't matter. Just because he's from Argentina doesn't mean nothing. Oh, they eat beef. Doesn't matter. Maidana has something else, right? Maidana stood out because he kept doing it time and time and time again, right? You look at his record, it was incredible. He beat all kinds of incredible names, right? This guy, he got fast tracked into thinking that he was that good off of account of imagination, the imagination of the fans. And I think the imagination comes from the fact that we wanted 135, especially for the younger fighters like Keyshawn Davis, to have somebody that can really test him. And we thought that Lemos was going to be the guy. But Keyshawn Davis was able to overcome the weight differential, which was almost actually two weight divisions higher than the weight that he made, because the guy blew even past 140. I think he weighed 141.7, really officially a welterweight. He fought a guy that came in almost two divisions heavier than him, and he made it look easy. Why? Because he had the physical advantages. He had the height, the arms, the arm reach, everything, in order to neutralize just the weight advantage that the opponent had, right? But when you think about Keyshawn Davis as somebody bigger than him, like Pedrosa, that's where the point about whether Keyshawn Davis is just a fighter that will win when he has physical advantages goes out the window, because Pedraza is way bigger than the guy. Pedraza once even weighed as high as 140 something in a fight, if I'm not mistaken. This guy did come down to 130 or something or whatever to fight Keyshawn, but still, nonetheless, this guy is a tall order. He's a very tall fighter for 135, a very tall fighter for 140, and the Keyshawn Davis was able to beat the guy. So when I rank Keyshawn Davis, I do rank him fairly. I don't think he's overhyped. I do think he has the potential to be very, very good. And in fact, I do think he has the potential to be a pound for pound fighter because he just beat a guy that was almost two weight divisions higher than him. And he's not doing it just because of the physical advantages. He's doing it by skill set, and he's doing it by aggression, and he's doing it by dominance. Keyshawn Davis, guys, he's somebody to watch out for.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. He's got some good skills. He's got good. He's flat-footed. He sits on his shots and his power. He trusts his power. If I'm not mistaken, in the amateurs when he was moving up and beating all these people, he was doing so by knocking these dudes out. And when you see performances in what you saw on Saturday, you realize, damn, dude, this dude can fucking crack. As for why people were calling him Marcos Maidana, well, that dude fought amazingly against Richard Hitchinson. I thought he beat him. And I was like, damn, this dude was fighting well in that fight. I don't know what the fuck that was against. This dude looked like Emmanuel Navarrete when he went up to 135 lunging.
Horrible.
And overcompensating and just recklessly throwing punches. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's not how you fought Richard Hitchens. Yeah, you whiffed and missed a couple of punches, but you were much more tighter on your defense and your punch selection. And then there was whatever the fuck we saw on Saturday. Where I'm like, bro, you're not going to make weight and you're going to get knocked out like that. I don't want to fucking see you ever again. You know? But yeah, man. I mean, look, you have to look at it like this. Marcos Maidana, before Robert Garcia, was a fighter that was already going to retire. Before he met with Robert Garcia, he was like, boxing is no longer fun. You saw him get dropped multiple times by Victor Ortiz, came back and then made Victor Ortiz really reevaluate his boxing career. You saw Amir Khan drop him with a nasty, hellacious left hook. Marcos Maidana was a very rough draft of a project. Like, he was just very tough, had heavy hands, reckless, and he was fucking mean. But once you give these guys acumen, boxing intelligence, the ability to teach how to set traps, then you get performance like he had versus Adrian Broner. Then you get performances that he had against Floyd Mayweather, you know? So, that's why I'm not saying that this guy could be Marcos Maidana, but he definitely had that temperament where you're like, man, this dude has a puncher's chance. But be that as it may, when you run into another schooled boxer and a schooled puncher as well, then you're going to get knocked the fuck out. And that's exactly what happened. But yeah, no, man, I was extremely impressed with that performance, man, for sure. Anytime you can get knockouts like such, oh, for sure, dude. Those are highlight reels. Those are things that make you into stars. And Keyshawn Davis, definitely because of that punch capability and the way he sets about his creative punching, yeah, dude, he's someone that you should never take lightly, bro.
And he was patient though, right? Like there was so many times that Lemos, is his first name Gustavo?
Correct.
Okay, Gustavo Lemos. There was so many times that he, was hopping in the air trying to catch Keyshawn with one of those looping punches, hooks, and whatnot. And Keyshawn Davis did not throw the punch there. He didn't counter him there. He was just like, okay. He just took a step back, made the guy miss. He's like, okay, he's like a whole foot off. It's all right. I'm in no hurry. I'll get him and I'll make my punch count, because those are very smart fighters, right? If you have a punch that you can hit your opponent with that will be consequential, you don't want to necessarily do it every single time. You want to do it at the right time. Almost like Juan Manuel Marquez did with Pacquiao. He knew that Pacquiao was coming forward. He knew that Pacquiao was coming with his hand down. He knew that Pacquiao wanted to knock him out. So what did he do? He just waited for the right moment. He knew that moment was coming because Pacquiao was repeating the same mistake over and over again, and then he caught him at the right time. That's what Keyshawn Davis was doing. He was biding his time, waiting for the right opportunity to capitalize, and he could have done it at any other moment, but he wanted to make sure that when he landed that punch, it counted, and that's what I really appreciated about the way that he approached this Gustavo Lemos's fight. Now, I'm not trying to justify with the next thing that I say, guys. I'm not trying to justify Lemos's performance, his lackluster, unimpressive, almost quitter uh, type of fight. I'm not going to say anything about it, but I did know one thing. When Gustavo Lemos was being interviewed, in the pressers, and actually even when he walked into the ring, the very first thing that I saw is that he looked very um depleted. He looked wait, deflated. He looked like he didn't have energy. He looked like he was down and out, and he walked in with a shirt that had
You said
who
he
I
was
assume to
depressed.
be.
You
He
said he was
looked to be
depressed.
depressed. He did look to me to be depressed. At least he did not have any kind of life. He did not have any kind of spunk.
Did he say
And he
he was?
walked in there with a shirt that had a kid's image on it. And I think it said something like, I don't know, rest in peace or God is with you or
Was
something
it
like
his
that.
kid?
Well, let me ask you something. Do you wear any shirts of any other kids on your face, on your body?
Maybe if it's like for a children's hospital and
Mm,
someone's dying, like at a nearby hospital, I decide to help out the community. But it
So
could be
just one
that.
kid, though.
It
Just one
could be
kid.
that, or
I
you
think it was
just
somebody
say
very
it's a
close
kid.
and intimate to him.
But
That's
did
what
he
I
mention
think.
it?
Yeah. Um, I think
Oh,
his demeanor of being ill prepared, of not being excited to fight, of actually displaying his lack of aggression and spunk in the ring lets me think that something was off with the guy. He did not come in here to fight. Something was drawing his attention from the fight. Something massive, something important was distracting him. And I don't know who that kid on that shirt is. I hope it's not his son. I hope if it's his son, that his son has a chance. I hope that he didn't lose a child recently, right? There was some commotion. There was some talk right there. I've been trying to follow back on finding the thing where I heard one of the commentators say, I think it was, what's his name? Celis, the Mexican guy that who speaks English. He said something about the demeanor of Gustavo Lemos and something that was going on in the background. Gustavo Lemos didn't give a rat's ass at making the weight. And everybody thinks that the Gustavo Lemos was over here as a strategy just to beat up on the guy and to win and beat up on the guy. I don't think so. Something was affecting that guy's performance. I think it was something personal. I hope that his family's okay. But that was not Lemos. That was not Richardson Hitchens Lemos.
yeah, that's just um. I don't have the facts or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But man, I don't know.
Again, I'm just speculating, right? But that was
Speculate.
not. Yeah, the big time is speculation, but that was not Gustavo Lemos. You watch the boxing boys. I know you know when they
This is
said that
why.
he
This
was
is
a
why.
it was a 50-50.
This is why you're a conspiracy theorist. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah,
Hey, Eddie Medi is all on top of it, man. He just reminded us that Subriel Matias fought, and I believe it was in a pay-per-view event. Yeah, I wasn't gonna pay for a pay-per-view starring Subriel Matias, especially with the fighter that I don't remember. Right, I think the pay-per-view was $30, but there was so much going on this past weekend of fighting, all of it free, that there was no way I was gonna spend money this time. What do you think happened in that fight? Dream, what do you think happened in that fight, homie? Do you think Subriel Matias overcame? I think he fought a Mexican, by the way.
I didn't watch the fight. I just watched the highlight, but it looked like he was dominating and doing his thing. Looked like they found him an opponent that's willing to stand in front of him, and that's what happened, man. Like, yeah, bro. I think a lot of people knew he was going to lose to Elan Paro, just because
Mhm.
Styles and Elan Paro did that, bro. So Sabrio's a good fighter and all,
Yeah.
but I still want that pit bull fight just because of the styles, you know. Pitbull versus Matias.
And what a horrible treatment from Eddie Hearn, right? He just barely picked up Subriel Matias, and as soon as he loses to Liam Parr, he just kicks him out it kicks him out of his promotion. That's that's crazy. Like, man, he just chews him out and spits spits him back out, right?
Oh, you already got
Chews
cut?
him. Yeah, that's why he was fighting on the undercard. I mean, fighting in his own little promotion for a pay per view that was not broadcast in the zone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a dog eat dog world.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy, man. But Keyshawn, man, I think Keyshawn's whatever he's doing right now with his, with his uh with his life and out like outside the ring activities, bro. Like I feel like he's definitely changed it up, bro. Like he's fighting like the fighter he should be, bro. Like he if you see his old fights, bro, you need to go back and watch some of his older fights, and compare it to really like any fight after Pedraza, which is really just the Gustavo Lemos and that one, right? Like I think I'm
For the
missing
most
one
part,
more.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a complete
After the
different.
incident, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So he's actually like I'm not saying he's a whole completely different fighter because he's had those that arsenal. Like, he's had
Mhm.
his toolbox, bro. Like he's always had that, but he's kind of doing the same thing from every single round, bro. Like he wasn't thinking about what he was doing really, in a sense of setting up his shots. I feel like he was just mentally like chill, like he
Mhm.
wasn't like he didn't have that extra anger in him to push, bro. Like I feel like I don't know. I feel like he's just a different fighter, bro. Like I think right now he's actually like when he's in range, he's making sure he's letting a shot go, bro. Like he's not just gonna stand in front of you, bro. Like he's actually thinking about setting up his shots, and he's just more an aggressive fighder as well.
Mhm.
Like he just
Mhm.
doesn't stand there anymore. He's just more aggressive. And
I like it because I know you've heard, right? He's been saying some things about Andy Cruz. Are you excited about that? Because he said he sent a contract to Andy Cruz and his team. Andy Cruz retorted and said, "What contract? Where's this imaginary contract? Send me a picture, post it out, show the people what you offer me, because I ain't never heard nothing. In fact, we've sent you a contract." What do you think about that? Andy Cruz is being called out, and actually, Keyshawn Davis said Andy Cruz would not take that fight. What do you think about that? This is now Keyshawn Davis saying that he would fight Andy Cruz, but that Andy Cruz wouldn't take that fight. That's incredible because it's always been the opposite. Andy Cruz has been trolling this guy for about a year and a half now, saying that he wants to fight him and wants to fight him. And what does Keyshawn Davis say? Oh, I have nothing to prove. He's like, what does he say? Like, I have bigger fish to fry or whatever. What do you think about that fight?
I think they're both in two different uh paths, not paths, but like they're two different like levels in their career, bro. Like I feel like Andy Cruz, and this is debatable, bro. I feel like people will think he's a gold medalist and he
Hmm.
should be on the fast track to being a world champion and all this, but bro, he's getting hurt, man. This guy's getting hurt and with the non-punchers, once that fourth round hits, that fifth round hits, that sixth round hits, like he like he doesn't have time to recover anymore. So he has
Mm,
to take shots now. So I think he's in good ass shape, right? I think he's molded his body to be like in these 3 round fights, and
mm.
he's already like 28, 29, or I forget his age.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, like you're not supposed to. I feel like you're not supposed to start so late. You want to get your body going, to do 12 rounders. You're not trying to be the youngest champion ever, but you're also trying to be like, I don't know. I think like a typical resume, of a good someone who had a good amateur pedigree, went to travel around the world. Like the Charles Conwells, the Troy Isleys, uh, those guys that represented USA, just not at the maybe at the Olympic level, but as well as like the AIBA championship level. So
Mm.
that level. So I just feel like you should be able to do that, and then by the time you're in the pros, you'll be like 23, 24, fighting in 12 rounders, being as a prospect or something. So not as a prospect,
Mm.
but you know what I mean. But yeah, like I don't think it should be 28, 29, uh barely working your way up to 10 rounders or 8
Yeah,
rounders.
that don't make no kind of sense, huh?
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, you're getting hurt by non-punchers. So I don't get it, bro. Like I see the hype. I see the hype, and he's got good fundamentals. He's fundamentally sound, bro. Like he's really good, but I just feel like he's
Bro, he's 29 years of age, bro.
yeah, and it's like, bro, like you have so much mileage on those legs now. It's like you got to be able to punch back, man. Like at least punch hard. If you're gonna get hurt, punch hard. Do at least be Mason, and be more aggressive when you're hurt. But he just runs. You know, that's why Mason is good, because he's actually more aggressive when he's like hurt. You don't see
Mm.
that in Andy Cruz. And that's the difference between boxing and fighting. You know, Mason fought back. Andy tried to box back. It wasn't working out. And he managed to get the dub, obviously, in his last fight. But I'm over. I remember that. I noted that. I was like, oh, I cannot wait until you're with the high knockout ratio guy. You know, I feel like I think it's never gonna happen. That's why I feel like they should strike early when the iron's hot. But
So
the thing
wait,
is,
but you do think
it's gonna get upset.
that Andy Cruz would take that fight?
Well, I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. This is the thing. Andy Cruz is due for an upset, bro. Like whether it's with Keyshawn or not, he's due for an upset, and I think he should fight Keyshawn. Not because and I'm not sure if Andy Cruz is not like it knows that, and it makes me question Bozy Ennis's knowledge now. And I'm like, damn, like, don't you see your guy, getting hurt? Like, I don't know. Um, yeah, it's just what were we gonna say?
No, I was just saying, like, if Keyshawn Davis, it's all up on Keyshawn Davis. It's not on Andy Cruz. It's on Keyshawn Davis to to uh to sign the contract, right? Because Andy Cruz has less of a professional record than him, has less of an accomplishment than him. The A side in this case would be Keyshawn Davis. So it's on Keyshawn Davis to accept the fight or not. We know that Andy Cruz has been calling this guy out publicly, making actual videos where he's embarrassing him. He's calling him a son. There's no, you know, being subtle with Andy Cruz. When Andy Cruz has been calling out Keyshawn Davis, he's been very blatant, very apparent. We have now just entered into the face of these guys' contention where Keyshawn Davis is saying that Andy Cruz wouldn't take that fight. So that means it's on Keyshawn Davis now, who's now starting to open up his mouth to prove that he would fight him. So I find it to be a little disingenuous, really, that Keyshawn Davis is talking like that, because you already know he's not next. He said that he's looking, and I think it was Mr. Bob Arum that said it. He's likely next to fight one of the worst fighters besides William Skull to get a belt recently on a vacancy, which is of course that Dennis Baranchik. He has an opportunity to become a champion, a true legitimate belt holder at 135 by fighting Dennis Baranchik. Why would he take on an Andy Cruz fight? I think it's never going to happen, bro. He's never going to fight Andy Cruz because Andy Cruz is always going to be high stakes, low reward kind of fight. And by the time that he gets a belt, he has no vested interest in fighting somebody that will not pay him big money like Andy Cruz, because Andy Cruz, regardless, again, as talented as these Cubans are, they don't have a fan base. It doesn't even seem Cubans support Cuban boxers.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'll never happen because Andy Cruz's chin will not make it. And yeah, so and like I said, they're in different parts, I guess, or like different one's a prospect and one's like on the cusp of being a superstar, bro. Like, so I think Andy got a lot of catching up to do in a sense.
Oh yeah,
Uh
absolutely.
so yeah, that's why, bro. So it's a long shot, but uh I think today it will be like one of the last days I'll stop talking about it because I think he's gonna be negotiating for other fights, for bigger
For
fights.
big fights.
Yeah. So I can't wait, Just because, I think he should fight. Nah, I don't know if he should be on the undercard yet, but I think he's big enough, but he's also small enough of a name to be at a co-main. But that would be a mega fight. It would have to be like a mega fight, like a big card, for him to be on the undercard or on the co-main of anything. So
Let me hop onto another thing because I think that's all speculation. I don't know if they'll ever
yeah,
really fight. I don't think they will. But did you get to watch uh Troy Isley fight?
no, I didn't.
Okay.
Yep.
You know Troy Isley, right? You got your money's worth with Troy Isley.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if Troy Isley is scheduled to fight a 6 rounder, you're gonna get 6 rounds. 8 rounds, 8 rounds, 10 rounds, 10 rounds, but you're never gonna get a knockout. And
He
he
gets
doesn't
knocked out.
pursue it. Huh?
Well, go ahead.
I think he has about 15 fights and he has 5 knockouts.
But,
It is not necessary that he can't knock a guy.
but this is the thing about
It's just
Troy.
that he doesn't pursue the knockout. In fact, his corner, Brian Womack, doesn't tell him to pursue a knockout. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's smart, because the
Really?
way. Well, this is the thing about Troy. Uh, Troy does
Yeah.
manage to knock out some really good fighters, bro. Um, oh no, like he just beats him up, bro. He gets knockdowns, but I think like with his style, he has a good defense. He takes punches really well. With dudes that who are hard hitters. That dude Tyler Howard was actually a pretty good boxer, bro. So he managed to fight a really solid, beat a solid fighter, and Tyler Howard, who was 20-1, and I forget his knockout ratio. I think he had like a 60%, 70% knockout ratio. No, it was 55. But yeah, no, that's solid. But uh, no, Troy Eiley, dude, this is the thing. This is what made me not a
I don't
bias.
like him, bro.
This is a thing that made me like made me knowledgeable of him. Like I'm like, okay, you're a solid fighter because he beat a dude by the name of Vladimir Hernandez,
Hmm.
right? You know who Vladimir Hernandez beat,
Yeah, I
bro?
remember him. Yeah.
He's the guy that beat Truck Simpson.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And for Troy Simpson, like he literally, put him to bed, bro. Like this guy, I forget how many times. I think he got knocked down like twice. Am I wrong?
No, you're right, bro.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, he had a hard time with this guy, and then Isley fucking mopped him, bro. Like I think he did really well against him, bro. So that's what kind of made me like, like think of him as at a certain level, not at that top level. But the thing is with Troy, he's a short guy. He's 5'9" or 5'10". He's a small stature guy, and I think he punches hard when he wants to. But
I mean, that's short compared to me, yeah. But I mean, you
and then
know,
Javier Martinez, bro, like Javier Martinez got upset by a dude named I think he lost to, oh no, he got a draw against Joshawn James. But I look at all these things and I know
We
Joshawn
should have
James.
lost to Joe Sean James, though. We
Yeah,
saw that fight live.
he should have lost to Joshawn, and Joshawn got an upset against David Stevens on a first round knockout.
mm,
Um, so this guy, and then Vaughn Alexander, who goes the distance with everybody, he
Vaughn,
he went the distance.
fun.
He went the distance with him. So, dude, like you gotta look at these things, bro. Like Javier Martinez is a solid fighter, and
You
he
gotta look at how he fought last night, this past weekend, bro. It was the flattest performance of a fight that I've
but
seen in a long time.
Tyler Howard beats all his previous opponents. Javier,
I
like
have to see it. I don't just like to give credit like that. I
Tyler
have to
Howard
see
is
it.
a good fighter. Tyler Howard,
That's good and all. It doesn't
that's
mean
his
that
best fighter. That's his
it
best
doesn't
fighter.
mean that Troy
But
Isley put up a stellar performance.
he stepped
Listen,
it up.
you know that he's from Virginia, right?
no fault.
He's from Norfolk, Virginia. No, I think yeah, he's from Norfolk, Virginia.
No
He
idea.
ended up fighting in his own backyard.
Norfolk.
You- They they booed him in his own backyard. They booed him on 3 occasions. This is one of the flattest performances that I've seen of any fighter in a long time, especially somebody that's as hyped and as heavily promoted as Troy Isley. We have seen Troy Isley in so many fights where we see him to be a good competitor. He, like you stated, he's very skillful. He's had some very good fights, very good wins, a couple of good knockouts. He has not had knockouts, maybe knockdowns. He has about 13, 14 fights, and he has 5 by knockout. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's what, 33%, 35%, whatever. That's okay. That's not what I'm talking about. This guy does not pursue the knockout. This guy does not do anything else besides coast himself in there. Arimeri said, he's basically, he said, unanimous decision Isley. That's absolutely true. He takes it, and he's okay with taking it to the 12th round. Now, the problem that I have with that, right? The problem that I have with leaving it to go to the rounds is that you don't necessarily get every single round counted on you just because you're at home. One day you're gonna have to travel. One day you're not gonna have the home field advantage, and if you don't try hard enough to take these guys out be- before the 12th round strikes and you leave it up to the judges with those kind of performances, you're likely gonna lose. Now, the problem that I had with this corner is that there was some moments that he had some success, but there was so many moments that he didn't, and he was just all right with just you know jabbing, pot shotting himself into a win, a very boring win. He's unwilling to step it up in front of his home base when everybody's obviously going to cheer for him. He already has all the home field advantages. He has one of the best trainers in the world, Brian Bomack. He spars with some of the best fighters in the world, Terrence Bud Crawford, Keyshawn Davis, and this guy fights like nothing like them. This guy is the worst fighter on Bomack's team. Bomack was okay with telling him, "Don't do nothing stupid. We're almost on the championship rounds. Those rounds look so close. Don't do nothing stupid." Like even Womack doesn't seem to trust him that he's willing to do anything else besides just coast himself to a win. And in fact, I don't like to make fun of any fighters, but I will go with this one. Addy Medi says he's basically Bobby Lashley with gloves on. Yeah, he looks like Bobby Lashley with gloves on.
Funny, man. That's
It,
funny.
yeah, I don't know, guys. Troy Isley, I don't need to see that guy fight anymore. You gotta give me a fight of the year contender for me to sit there and watch this guy and then have to upload a reaction short on how offensive it was to me to watch that fight.
Yeah, no, man. You know, I'm not too hard on Troy Isley because it's
Yeah.
whatever. It's like he's got good skills. I think if the fight presents itself, I think he'll do more and he'll score knockouts and stuff like that. It's just right now, I mean, these guys are still prospects that have really good skills that are being accelerated in the career. So I'm not too heavily high, like in terms of Troy Isley, Troy Isley. I'm gonna critique him so harshly. Yeah, man, he should understand that if you want to gander more appeal to the populace, you have to definitely go for the knockouts. Definitely go for broke. He's a very skilled boxer. One, two. He'll be in the pocket. He'll make you pay. But he's never not gonna press the action. But if guys like Drew said, Vladimir Hernandez come to press the action, him naturally as a counterpuncher, he'll excel. But as him being the stalker, that's not really his forte. So it's no big deal, man. Look,
It's
obviously,
nothing
Yeah, I guess
big.
that's fair.
I
That's
gotta
fair.
wait for so I gotta wait for that driver to arrive. But I'm asking you guys this: Turkey Al Sheik, he bought Golden Boys, the Ring magazine, allegedly for $10 million. You've been sharing some of these posts on IG that he has big things, big expectations. I guess they haven't been producing a Ring magazine, tangible handheld magazine, for over 2 years. Like it's
Yeah.
all online
You
or
mean
PDF
we?
files. And now he's gonna bring that back and add more spaz and add all this more like spunk to the magazine. My question is this: what do you does two questions? One, does the Ring magazine belt? Sorry, is the Ring magazine the same thing as the Ring lineal belt, or is those two separate entities, or they're all bundled up as one?
Well, for me, I think I've always recognized the Ring magazine as the guy that is like the man, like that is like the real belt, like
Like the real champion, the number
yeah,
one guy.
that's like the dude that's really the man. The other four belts are like you achieve their curriculum, and then with the ring belt, you got you pass the people's curriculum. Like the general public's curriculum. Of greatness. Or of being a true champion. So that's what that represented to me.
Yeah, it did. They call it the people's belt, right?
Yeah.
Um, but of course it was always a designation from these writers at the Ring magazine, because the Ring magazine is very old, guys. It's pretty old, 100 something years old, more, right? It's pretty old, and the Ring magazine accompanies the Ring belt. Now, there really shouldn't have been a Ring belt. It's really just a nomenclature, but I guess somewhere along the way they actually made a belt along with that, and that's where Turkey Ali comes in, because the belt that they would hand or otherwise, which was really just a recognition that you were the people's champ, and never really carried any kind of weight, right? Because it's not a true belt. It's not a WBA, WBC, WBO. You cannot fight for the ring belt. It's just something granted to you. In the case of Turkey Ali Sheik's involvement in the sport of boxing, his belt, which is the undisputed belt, right? He actually made a belt called Undisputed. That carries much more weight because he's now willing to pass a special belt where he invests the most money, and he makes all of these fights happen in order for one person to hold that belt at the end, right? So now you can say that the Ring magazine and lineal nomenclature, lineal assignation is accompanied by a belt, which would be Turkey Ali Sheik's undisputed belt, right? So he needed to consolidate all of those things in order for that to make sense. In order for Turkey's belt to matter, he needs the Ring magazine to report on the sport of boxing, so that once whoever holds that belt gets it, it matters because we've been apprised about the action that took place, about the history, about this fight taking place, and the background of this other fight taking place, so that by the time all of the belts are consolidated, it means something. So it's a grand move on the part of Turkey Al Sheikh, Saudi Arabia, and Riyadh season. But most importantly, guys, you have to understand the boxing world doesn't care about that. The boxing world never cared about that. Turkey Al Sheikh is investing big money and big time and making sure the boxing world cares. And that's what I appreciate. Turkey wants his belt to matter. Turkey wants his magazine to matter. And he's making sure that he does by investing properly and hiring some of the best writers and making sure some of the best fights possible happen, so that when they consolidate all four belts and he hands that beautiful black undisputed belt, the world stands and understands that something incredible, something great just transpired. Turkey Al Sheikh is the best thing that has been happening in the sport of boxing, and I would say the past 10 years.
Who was the last 10? Who was that? Who's
The PBC had a big part of it, right? The PBC had a big part for that past decade of trying to make boxing great again.
Well, what
They
about the
provided us
zone
about
and their
four
billion
years
dollar
of
budget?
free fights. What is that, homie Ricky?
What about the zone and their billion-dollar budget?
Yeah, that's another one. I'm telling you, this is the golden era of boxing. We've entered into a golden era. The zone consolidating all of these networks and boxing promotions in one home. But that's very recent, guys. That's very recent. That's I don't know what, past year or two, right? Golden Boy in the past 2 years. Um, the pickup of Queensbury hasn't even taken place. Matchroom was really the thing. They lost Bellator, so they had the rocky start. But nonetheless, yes, eventually one of the best things to happen in the sport, if it doesn't become a monopoly, a very expensive monopoly, will be the zone. But Turkey Ali Sheikh, for about 4 years now, has been investing in the sport of boxing, like even more so than the zone has, even more so than PBC, even more so, especially more so than Oscar de la Hoya, right? I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but I think he's doing a lot of very good things, guys. A lot of very good things.
Yeah, no, man, I agree. With Turkey Al Sheikh, I I don't know what my stance has been in the past. The way I look at it is like he's doing really good things in terms of putting money into the sport and making the fights that otherwise wouldn't happen because fighters don't want to, it's too risky and there isn't enough reward, right? But here comes Turkey Ali Sheik and he makes people like, I'm giving you the money that you guys would want for this fight without having the fan base or the fiscal supporters in order to do so. I'm putting it out of my own money. See, without Turkey Ali Sheik, we don't get Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk, right? Without Turkey Ali Sheik, we don't get Beterbiev for Bivol because Top Rank is going to be like, oh, that fight's not it's good enough. We don't need them, or it's not, Bivol doesn't sell, or Bivol's a boring fighter. Well, when you're getting paid $25 million, it doesn't really matter if your opponent is fucking boring or not, or they don't take risks, or whatever the case may be, right? So that's one of those things that Turkey Ali Sheik has found his place in the sport of boxing, right? Like when Brian Norman gets paid by Eddie Hearn 7.5K or $750,000, to fight in Unify versus Boots, he walks away. Turkey Ali Sheik goes, all right, Brian Norman, you want $3 million? I'll give you $3 million to Unify versus Boots because I think that'd be a great fight. Nowhere in the market will they ever pay, with the budget, Boots Ennis $3 million and Brian Norman $3 million. Turkey Ali Sheik will. So he pretty much goes like, don't worry about the money. You're going to be compensated way more than enough. of the pay-per-views that I'm gonna be able to generate from this shit. One of the things that I don't like though, and again, is maybe him just understanding and trying to make a splash, right? And really get headlines and really let people know that I'm putting in a lot of money. I don't really like the exhibition matches with the Logan Paul brothers that he does. I don't really care for much of the fake fights, like
We'll
Tyson
stop doing
Fury
that.
versus Francis Ngannou or AJ versus Francis Ngannou. These jokes, these fights to me are farcical. They're jokes, you know. But if he starts to make the die-hard fights, then it's really good. But there's a consequence, and it comes down to PBC and DAZN. When you overpay for these fighters, like Eddie Hearn did with Mikey Garcia and Sandor Martin, Mikey Garcia and Jesse Vargas, when you overpay for these fighters, in other words, that and otherwise they won't ever generate that money, then they will never fight again unless it's for that type of money. It's also market manipulation, right? So you overfill the belly of the beast, and then he no longer has the hunger of starvation, right? Where he's gonna be like, oh fuck, I don't have to struggle anymore. I just have to slow and like slow my roll and just make, and eventually Turkey will come calling. So there's a pro and con and a trade-off to everything. So one of the things that I wish that Turkey learns is like only pay handsomely for the really big fucking fights that we otherwise can get, but don't constantly overcompensate these fighters because sometimes they don't fucking deserve it. And
Yeah.
so there's a pros and cons to things that Turki Al Sheikh is doing. I would say that he's still coming in here with good and honest intentions, but I do like his 5 versus 5 thing that he's doing, with Queensbury and Matchroom, and then Matchroom versus Golden Boy, or Top Rank versus Golden Boy. I like things like that. I like Noche de Latinos or Noche de Mexico that he's doing this weekend. Have you guys talked about that fight? Because you guys still want to talk about Canelo in 30
No,
minutes.
no, no.
I
We
don't
haven't
want to
talked
know
about
about
that fight. But look, let's talk about that real quick, right? So about a year ago, Dana White, he was being interviewed, and he said that one of the greatest things that you can tell a fighter is that he fights like a Mexican, right?
Who said that?
Dana White, because he says
Yeah. I know.
he said that all Mexican fighters, they come to fight, they give it 100%. They're willing to die in the ring. They never take a step back. You really have to completely destroy them, and their will is strong. And he went off on that, and I was like, okay, cool. You're pandering,
No,
all right, you're pandering.
exactly.
But whatever, it's true. The Mexican fighter does have a lot of respect, right, in the sport of boxing. Now, with that in mind, he decided to create Noche UFC, which was a stellar, incredible event. Even I watched Noche UFC. It was near, I think, the end of the year last year. I think it was maybe like close to New Year's. Maybe it was New Year's. Maybe it was in Thanksgiving. I can't remember what it seemed to be, close to the end of the year or some special kind of holiday. And it was a very big success. I think here's the thing about that event too, though. It was free. So it was the most watched MMA event for UFC for that whole year, right? Maybe historically. Turkey Ali Sheik is doing the same thing for boxing, and he's not putting it behind the paywall. This week, it was reported that Latino Night, where Golden Boy is being welcomed into the embrace of Riyadh season in Turkey Ali Sheik, is going to be free, no added charge to view fighters like Surdo Ramirez versus CBS. Chris Billam Smith, who have been watching for years. He's a very good fighter. In fact, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Chris Billam Smith might actually take this one. Nonetheless, we get to see that. Is it a good card? Yeah, it seems to be a very good card. Is this going to be something going forward that we can expect from Turkey? Absolutely, guys. There's going to be a yearly thing, maybe every 6 months or whatever. It's going to be a big event starring Turkey Ali Sheik and Hispanic, Latino, Mexican, whatever fighters. This is going to be great. I think it's very good for the sport. I think he should probably take it away from the zone and put it into regular television, Fox or whatever, if he really wants it to blow up, because this is a very good concept. Turkey comes up with some very good ideas.
I think that's racist, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, that's
I'm a little racist. It's okay though.
yeah. I was because like I don't know. They just yeah, they just don't like. It's not like it's on Cinco de Mayo or like on Mexican Independence Day or on Latino month or it's just Latino night, and it's like don't I don't know like it's all good, I guess. Like I can't. There's nothing I can't. I'm just looking for bad things to say about it. I guess if you're you can call it whatever you want as long as you're gonna give me some good ass fights on it. So that's my stance on it. But yeah, give me some good ass fights. Mexican versus anybody. Mexican versus the world. Make it versus Asian. Make it versus a African American. Make it versus a fucking yeah, it should be Latino night. Some solid ass fights.
Soon enough.
I still want UK versus US, but that's
Hmm.
gonna be a hard one because man, like Matchroom and Golden Boy both have talent in the US and both have talent in the UK, I believe, or I might be wrong. But yeah, so it should be more about Golden Boy. It should be Golden Boy versus Matchroom or some shit, or the Zone or some shit. That'd be a good one.
Look, these are the fights, guys. Just in case you guys don't know who's on the undercard. So there's of course Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. There's Chris Billum Smith. That's going to be a heck of a main event, guys. That if you've never seen CBS fight, he's very fun. He used to be with Eddie Hearn. In fact, I first got a glimpse of CBS's potential when in the lockdown about 4 years now. Eddie Hearn, Mr. Eddie Hearn, had to host events in his mansion, in the patio of his mansion, right? And it was a spectacular event. There was sparse attendance, right? Because everybody was gonna die because of the COVID. But he had this white mansion in the back. He had this incredibly beautiful ring in front of his lawn. It was incredible. It held that night. It was spectacular, right? But Chris Billum Smith put up a heck of a fight. At I think it's cruiserweight, right? And man, oh man, he looked good. These are the the undercards for the main event. Jose Ramirez, long awaited return versus. Check this out, guys. You guys are gonna love this. Arnold Barbosa, a Southern California fight of the year potential right there. Right? That's gonna be so good. One guy from I think he's like I think Barbosa's from Pomona or something like that. And of course Jose Ramirez is from Fresno. If you guys know anything about that, if you're talking about gang stuff, you're talking about Bulldogs versus
Oh,
Southerners.
God.
That's I know. Hey, whatever. But there's gonna be some rivalry, is what I'm trying to say. Then we go on to Oscar Collazo. Remember Oscar Collazo? He's the guy who made Ryan Garcia do the little like show butt, like his little show me the butt kind of thing. Oscar Collazo is gonna be fighting Tamanun Niyontrong. Tamanun Niyontrong, I've never heard of him, but whatever. Collazo has a WBO minimum weight. He's going to be fighting there for the minimum weight. Wait, is that Oscar Collazo or no? What am I talking about?
Yeah. It's
No,
Oscar
Oscar
Collazo,
Duarte. No, I'm
the little Puerto
confusing him.
Rican dude.
No, that's Duarte. Sorry about that. William Cepeda will be fighting Mr. Tevin Farmer. Man, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah,
Tevin Farmer.
I think Barboza beats JC Ramirez, bro.
Like Catterall, Jack Catterall kind of performance, or what do you mean?
Yeah, like almost like a knockout, but Barboza don't really punch like that.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know Barboza by decision or even knockout. But
Oh crap! Yeah, Oscar Duarte is actually fighting. Oscar Duarte, the guy who made Ryan Garcia turn his back on him and show him his booty, he's fighting some dude named Boterzan Akhmedov. That's gonna be good.
yeah,
And see, oh, here you go. This is what Adi was talking about. Ziyad Al Mayuf. He's gonna be
Who?
fighting. There you go. Exactly. That's what Eddie Medi was saying. Who is
Okay.
Siyad Amayuf? Well, Siyad Amayuf is a guy who fights in every single fight night that Turki Sheik holds. He's that one Muslim fighter, from Saudi Arabia. He's very young. He's goodish, but I mean, and compared to who, yeah, he's mediocre. But hey, you know what? He's one of the standout fighters for Saudi Arabia, guys. He's trying to also make Saudi Arabian boxing a thing, so he has to showcase his fighter. Hey, whatever. I wish him the
There's a
best.
lot
The
of.
more markets we can open, the better.
I mean, look, man. No disrespect, right? Like it's just they have so many mediocre guys coming out of that area.
Mhm.
Like I'm like, what do you guys like? They're. I feel like they don't have. uh They have coaching, good coaching, obviously, but I feel like they need better like coaches out there because they don't have like a known style. Like what's their style? It's not like it's a European style. Like usually, you know, based off where you're from, like like they'll teach you their style of boxing. It's still a science, but there's different ways of teaching it and going about it. But it's like, what's your guys' style? Like, I feel like you guys need better coaching out there. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, as long as you're committed, you can do whatever the fuck you want. It's just having better coaching, putting it all together. But yeah, this guy 6-0. It looks like he likes knockouts, bro. Like you don't knock dudes out. You know.
Yeah. So Adimeri says these are my winners: Chris William Smith, CBS, Barbosa, Duarte, Cepeda, and Collazo. Yep, yep. And F. Siyad Al Mayuf. Yeah. So I guess if you look at it that way, right? There's only two potentially competitive fights if we go based off the names that we know, right? CBS, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Most people are, of course, gonna cheer on for Gilberto Ramirez because he's been a champion before. He's moved up in weight a couple of times, and he has had experience with fighters such as Dimitri Bivol, even though he got outclassed, but he also beat Joe Smith. And then you look at CBS, and then you have to just look at it how he's fighting European, British level fighters. So they're not gonna give much credit to CBS. But I tell you, CBS is a very good competitive fighter. Now, if we get the Arnold Barbosa who came to win after he lost to Bivol, that guy that fought like a very
Who's
light-footed
CBS?
South, Chris William Smith.
Chris who?
William Smith. Yeah, it's I watch a
Never
lot
even
of
heard of
British.
him.
Yeah, um, yeah. But then again, you've never heard of Siyar Mayuf, and you've never heard of Tring Tong Doody 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 Doody, right? But they're fighting. And, I mean, they're fighting, bro. I don't know. There are the African names to say, right? CBS Barbosa versus JC Ramirez. That's another competitive fight. Duarte, we know how potentially good he is. Cepeda, we know what a destroyer he is. Collazo, he's a very little guy. Um, I think Collazo is Puerto Rican, right? But yeah, it basically it's not as competitive a card as we think it may be. The Mexican G says he's a little racially biased. Yeah, 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 because puro Mexicano controlamos. Exactly. He agrees with you that Eddie Medi, he says that they don't have a style. So F, Saudi Arabia, Jose Ramirez, LMFAO. Correct. He's Puerto Rican. Yeah, okay. Then I know who Collazo is. Okay, he's fighting at 108, 108, 112 maybe. Yeah, very good fighter. Very good fighter, actually. Um, he's lucky that Bam Rodriguez did not stay behind at those weight classes to fight him. Let me see. One of these guys said some funny stuff, man.
Bro, you just said some funny stuff right now. Like, what do
What
you
did I
mean?
say?
I,
Oh yeah,
I have a
drunk ding
feeling.
drunk diddy.
I have a feeling you fucking did you. I have a feeling you pronounced it right. Like knowing you, like I have a feeling you pronounced it like on point. And he's like, correct. I
No,
was like,
well I forgot. No, it's because those African names I forgot to mention that.
oh, that's a funny name. Like,
You,
was it? What was he fighting on?
look, you know those names from those Aborigines where you
Doogie.
have to like snap your sides to the cheek in order to make
Yeah.
that little popping sound. Yeah. Um, he saw Vladimir Bobox. Um, let me see. One of these guys said some funny stuff, right? Man, Adi Medi is just hilarious, man. I tell you the truth. Um, Troy Isley, when he fights, he knows he's got time to get his oil changed. Man, this is crazy. Oh, this one was funny. He said Keyshawn with weed is speed. Keyshawn without weed is the homie Ricky. Yeah, I think that sums it up, buddy. I think that's a very good analogy right there. Um, Dream, look, there's been so much going on in the sport, right? Are you catching up with everything, or has it been just too much? Because we've had so many fights, right? This past week, we had fights on Pro Box. We had fights on Country Box. We had fights in Europe. We had fights on a Tuesday. We had fights today from Miami. We had fights on Saturday and Sunday. Are you getting tired of the sport?
Am I getting tired of the sport?
Yeah. Like, are you now able to find, like reasons to say, you know what, I can afford to skip on this event and go here instead because I'm gonna make it up for it by watching another event. Like for example,
Yeah.
I think we invited you to go watch the fights with us, and I think you went somewhere with family or friends or something.
Yeah, it was my nephew's last football game, and I had to it was homecoming, and it was his last game, and I had to be there. I was like, shit, like I got invited, and I was like, well, I'm gonna just go, and it was over there in Santa Rita, but
Hmm.
yeah, so I had to do that, and that's the thing, like it's on a Friday. People got a lot of things to do on Fridays, you
Hmm.
know, and like sometimes they don't have a choice, and sometimes they decide to do other shit on Fridays, bro. I'm telling you, Fridays is a day to do to go out. Really, that's my go out day. Like that's typically the days I go out. Like typically, he Rick never invites me over to his house on a Friday. It's
True.
usually on a Saturday, or on it. Yeah, it's usually on a Saturday, and I'm always like with my other, other close friend on a Friday, or my cousin on a Friday. Like just because we go out, and it's like, yeah. So, and then Saturdays is my lounge around day. Like I just fucking stay home sometimes, and then that's why I have all that time to like go live with you guys for
Hmm.
4 or 5 hours. What was that one day we went like 6 hours straight? That was crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was on a Sunday though.
Yeah, the Sunday. Yeah, it was like 6 hours straight. It was like a job shift, almost.
Yeah, it was. Man, look, Eddie Medi is just an instigator. Like right when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call it a night right now. I'm just gonna talk a little boxing and then go get a big old 5 gallon of water. He said this, but thankfully, Jake Paul has rekindled his flame for the sport of boxing because he is admitting he's losing
Right.
his passion for the
That was
sport only after a year in. First off, I don't believe Adi Medi's been following the sport of boxing for only a year because this guy, he's too knowledgeable. He's too knowledgeable to only been following the sport for 1 year, right? But he says
Yeah,
that
no, he's
Jake Paul,
trolling.
yeah, I know he's trolling, but but that's why we love him here, right? He says that Jake Paul has rekindled his flame for the sport. Jake Paul is going to be fighting this weekend um, against Mike Tyson, and he did a very special, weird kind of thing, right? He uploaded a video to his Instagram where he and Mike Tyson are kissing. Now, in one of the pressers from the very first attempt at getting this fight going,
Nah, that was
almost,
a fake. That was fake.
of course, it was an AI kind of thing, but he uploaded it though.
He didn't upload it. That was a fake account. You posted the wrong.
Who said?
You did. You
No,
posted the wrong stuff.
no,
That
no,
was
no, no, no. I got it from his page.
that was a fake account. I seen that page you looked at. That was a fucking a parody page. That wasn't his account.
Well, look, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if you follow Jake Paul on Instagram. I don't
I
think you
seen
do.
it.
Why would you?
No, I just seen it, bro. Like that was a fake one, bro. Like you followed a parody account.
Okay, okay, okay. Let's
Looks
just
like
say
his
that,
own.
right? Let's just say that I followed some kind of a parody account. You do know, you do know that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul have been acting very homo to each other. You know that, right? Even my wife knows this. She said gay. She said they've been acting gay towards each other. About a year ago, when this first fight was gonna take place, before Mike Tyson had that heart issue when he was gonna fly in an airplane. I guess he may have some kind of health concern that when he flew on this airplane, there was some kind of interference that caused, or I don't know. Long story short, right? With the very first cancellation, when they were going through that presser, Jake Paul said he wanted to kiss Mike Tyson's juicy lips. This is true. There's no trolling here. Do you know what Mike Tyson's response to that was?
What?
Mike Tyson actually said, "Hey, that's funny because I watched the video of Jake Paul. I guess he was 16 or something in the Disney Channel, and he was doing some dancey thing like TikTok, and I got an erection."
Man, you're such a conspiracy theorist, man.
What are you talking about? These guys said this. These guys said this. Mike Tyson said he got a hard on for Jake Paul watching him doing TikTok dances at 16, and the other guy said that he wanted to kiss his juicy lips. Let me ask you something. Are you gonna pay to watch this event?
Yeah. You know why?
Yeah, I know why.
Why?
Because of Amanda Serrano and Katie
Duh.
Taylor.
Duh.
I know. But I mean, aren't you content with the first fight? Like, I mean, it happened. We know who won the first fight.
Oh, it was close, but yeah, the right person won, I guess. You know.
I will
Katie,
say this though, Eddie Medi, if you're interested in any fights, maybe Jake Paul, maybe that interests you. I guess, right? I hear that you if you pay for this pay-per-view, you can get up to 2 years of Netflix included. I think that's a pretty good deal. I don't know what the price is for the pay-per-view event, but if you get 2 years of Netflix, I don't know if Netflix is good or whatnot, because I
it's a
don't what
hundred
it's
bucks.
good. But Netflix is crazy.
It's $100.
That's what I heard. How much is it?
100.
Oh well, so you're saying I can get a year, 2 years of programming for $100,
Yep.
and Miss Katie Taylor and
I'm just
Amanda
fucking
Serrano's
with,
included.
I'm just messing with you. It's not $100. It's 16 now. Fuck, it used to be 12. But yeah, it's $16. I'm just messing with you.
No, no, no. How much is the pay-per-view event?
It's free on Netflix. So
It's
it's
free on
16 bucks.
Netflix.
So it's $16.
Hmm.
Yep.
Then why did I read somewhere that you can get up to 2 years of Netflix for free, included? I mean,
Uh maybe it's like a package deal, you know, and maybe it's cheap, you know, like it's makes sense on the long term, you know. They do that here and there.
oh man, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say what the Mexican G said, but yeah, that's true. Mexican Mike Tyson did once threaten to do something to another man.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike Tyson, I know he said some like borderline sus, but he says in an
That's
aggressive.
not borderline, bro. That's absolutely sus. There's no borderline there, man. That's like straight, like how do I, man? That's depravity. That's
But he means
freakazoid kind of stuff.
nah, but he means it in a like in a prison style. I don't know.
I know he means in prison stuff. That's still like I don't care. That's still GAY, bro. There's no coming back from that, man. If you say something and you really want to do it, man, Mike Tyson was a despicable individual, guys. For as much respect as we have for that guy, he was a despicable person, bro. Like, I mean, he was he was doing drugs. I think they accused him of raping somebody. He served time in jail. He beat up on people. He was a bully. He used to stick people up for their money. Um, just because he's a hippie now, it doesn't mean he used to not be a despicable individual. They used to talk about wanting to violate a man's, you know, most intimate uh, body part. That's incredible. Like, I mean, man, I'm glad that he changed, bro. But I mean, he used to be a douchebag, bro. Super douchebag.
Is he worse than Floyd?
Yeah, Floyd is cool compared to him. Like, I mean, Floyd just acted like a arrogant, showy um, bastard. But who doesn't, right? I mean, if you had that kind of money and you came from poverty, you'd probably act like that too. Mike Tyson just took it to an extreme. I've never heard Floyd Mayweather say that he would like to violate another man.
Yeah, and Floyd never went to prison. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So that shows you a lot right there.
No, Mike. Look, Floyd Mayweather. He's a good dude. He's a good dude. I mean, right? I guess whatever. Like, I mean, he helps people. He he really cares, right? Um, about the people that he's surrounded.
Is he over
Um,
Muhammad Ali?
no way, Muhammad Ali. Look, Muhammad Ali was a douchebag too, right? Muhammad Ali, I think he ended up dating like a 16-year-old when he was much older. I think he may have impregnated her, all kinds of stuff. And he was
The laws were
nation.
different back then. If you didn't know, you know, the laws were different back in the day.
No, I think it was still a controversy that he was dating like a 14 or 15-year-old or whatever. I think he also was a member of the Nation of Islam. So the Nation of Islam was, of course, a pro-black racist organization that used to believe in I think that that Africans were from some is an alien tribe from the tribe of Shabazz. I can't remember what it was, but I mean, look, it's
So you're
redemption,
saying,
right?
so you're saying Muhammad Ali had uh Layla Ali's mom at 16 years old?
I don't think it was Layla though. I think it was someone else.
Mm.
Um, yeah, it was crazy. Like, um, it's the reason I know this, right? Is because once I uploaded a video about Nico Ali Walsh when he was fighting this African fighter, and the African fighter was bringing it to him, bro. Like, I mean, I think Ali Walsh snapped his arm. I think he broke his arm that night, and then he ended up popping it back into place, and he did all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, Nico is a badass, bro. And this black guy, he comes to the channel and he comments about how Nico Ali Walsh, he's white and he's not made from the same stock as Muhammad, and that he was just like, that he wasn't good because he wasn't black enough or something like that. Um, and I had to remind him that, irrespective of the legendary stuff he did in the ring and the social things that he did outside of it, that Muhammad Ali was also a man, a fallible man that had his faults and had his mishaps. And if we can overlook those and forgive him, then we should be able to overlook the fact that Nico Ali Walsh, assumed, I think, his white father's last name. I think that's what it was. He was trying to say that he should have just had like the the last name of Ali without the Walsh part. Like, like I guess maybe he was embracing like the white side of his lineage, right? And I was just like, yeah, well, look, I don't want to talk bad about Muhammad, but boom, 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 and the guy never responded, right? So what I'm trying to get at is this, right? When we, and especially in the sport of boxing, the most important thing is redemption, right? You make up for your flaws, you make up for your mishaps in the ring. Abdullah Mason, he can redeem himself. if he has another opportunity to
Yeah, bro.
make that performance better, right? To stand out better. And this is the reason why we love the sport, because it allows us to forgive our fighters, and we can extend that forgiveness in our own lives, right? We can be redeemed, and we can allow others to redeem themselves before
Bro,
our eyes.
if Felix Trinidad can get up, I don't know how many times that and become as great as he is to this day, you know, then Abdullah Mason is in good hands. You
Hmm.
know, because this guy gets dangerous when he's hurt. You know,
Hmm.
like I don't think he was hurt. There were flash knockdowns, but I do think the I don't know which how to explain it. Like it's the punch where he kind of caught him slipping and he had his hands up in the air, you know, and he was like, "Oh shit!" Like it was like the crazy looking knockdown, you know. I think really it was just like one knockdown and then the other one was a kneel down, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so it was the only knockdown. I think that punch prior to that, where he started like, you know, getting excited and
Hmm.
started coming forward,
Hmm.
which made him as open as he was, and then that's how he got knocked down. That punch right there, dude, that right there, I was like, all right, like he was like genuinely like dazed right there.
Hmm.
And then but the other ones he was just they were just flash knockdowns, you know. So he had no choice but to put that glove down and you know, catch himself, you know, because his upper body was just going back, you know, and it's really
Yeah,
just
but Abdullah is so lucky that that guy did not have more power than he did, bro.
yeah, and
That
it's
would have
really
been devastating.
but it's your feet, man. It's your legs. Your feet are like your you know, like your back is all your stability. Like that's why you it's a balance, bro. Like when you try to work out legs and try to like be a balanced fighter, like that's why it's a good thing to like, you know, do more squats or something, man. Like to have more stability, man. Because other than that, he's in good hands, bro.
Yeah, you know what I really liked?
He's got
All
heart.
the Masons came out. The father came out. His four brothers came out. With Abdullah, they were just walking out. They all looked sort of similar, just different ways. It was very cool that it was a family affair, that they were walking out, and they're not arrogant, they're not bombastic, they're not loud, they're not showy. They don't do the whole VA throwing, faux gang signs like the Davis family was. That's fine. That's fine. They're just repping their town, right? Their city.
Yeah,
But
that's different.
yeah, but these guys were very humble. These guys just walked out there. They were excited that he got hurt. They were excited that he overcame. They were excited to have the opportunity to impress the people. And it's funny that even with that knockdown, even though he was exposed in my eyes, Abdullah Mason still had the most memorable moment of that whole event. Well, actually, let me take that back. There was another more memorable event, in my opinion. There was a fighter that made his debut for Top Rank on TV. His name was Austin Deanda. He fought a sparring partner of Jaron Boots Ennis by the name of Deshaun. Uh, oh, let me. DeAndre something
Pearson.
Pearson.
No, I'm tripping. Maybe. But yeah, I remember that fight.
DeAndre Pettis. And so it wasn't that the two guys, the fight was good. The fight was very competitive. In fact, I think maybe Pettis, barely lost the fight. But the most memorable thing was taking place outside of the actual fight. The quote unquote trainer for Austin Deanda, he was screaming so loud and saying so many bad things
Oh
about.
yeah. Yeah.
And he ended up telling the ref, he in one of the corners right before the end
Bro, he was
round.
mad.
Yeah, on the ninth round, I guess he turned around. He's like, ref, and the ref turned around. He goes, F-U-B-I-T-C-H.
What? He
He
said
said
that?
that, bro, and he's like, ha ha. bitch, and then he turned back, and the ref was like, "Bro, you're wild, bro." And then once the fight was over,
That's crazy.
right, bro, once the fight was
The
over,
stupid. Oh my. I'm
the
sorry.
the stupid guy, he jumped on the rope, he jumped into the ring. He walked over there to DeAndre Pettis, and he says, "What I tell you, you bum? Go back to South Carolina where you came from, you bum." Or some stuff, and everybody was like, the commentators were like, "What the hell, bro? This ain't even your fight. Like, why?" He was calling him a bum. He was saying that he was small. He was saying that he was ready for the for a knockout. He called the ref a bitch, bro. Laughed in his face. And look, I'm not trying to get political, but these were obviously Trump fans. They were Trump
Oh my god.
supporters. No, really, he was all decked in red with flags all over. And he probably just thought, "Oh, my guy's gonna win. I feel so good. Let me act like an asshole."
Yeah, bro.
Right?
That fight. I remember. Well,
Those are the stupid kind of people that believe that politics fixes their lives, that politics makes their lives better. Bro, politics have always ruined us.
well,
Politics have always stripped us of our rights. Why is this guy clamoring so much and getting so loud? Like, bro,
well, look. He
Trump
was.
won, not you.
Well, look. He was being a nuisance. In that in during that fight, bro. Like this guy was shouting some crazy shit, and you're telling me that he called the ref a bitch. That's
Check it
insane.
out, bro. I
That's
made
insane,
there's a
bro. I
short
was
that I
watching the
uploaded
fight.
it.
I was watching the fight live, but I must have missed it. But I
I
do remember,
uploaded a short.
bro. I do remember the guy fucking yelling at the opponent, saying, "Oh, you're garbage," and like just calling him out. It was just insane, bro. Like and then after the fight, he didn't even want to shake his hand. He
They
said,
didn't want
"Nah,
to shake his
bro."
hand, bro.
He said, "Nah, bro, nah, nah." I was like, "What the fuck?" The coach said that.
Hmm.
The opponent got called all these names, and he still went over to shake his hand. And he still said, "Nah." He stood on something, bro. I'm like, what happened? You know,
Yeah, yeah. It's like Pettis had like made love to his
type
wife
of
or something.
something, bro. It was insane, but I didn't. Something that we must have missed. If it was that case, then that sucks. But I'm saying
And what
like,
I'm saying is, what was the job of the commission? What was the job of the rep? Weren't they supposed to say something?
well, he's probably not gonna be on a card anymore, bro. If it's
Bro, he's the trainer. He's the trainer of the fighter. What's he gonna do? Get rid of his trainer?
probably he probably gonna tell like, hey man, like your coach got to chill, man, or else we're gonna you know put you like we're gonna have to put you on the shelf or something, bro, because your coach is crazy, bro. Like,
Well, I'm gonna write to the commission. I'm gonna write to the commission. I'm
oh
gonna
my
ask him
god,
about that. What?
go ahead,
What?
go ahead.
I'm gonna write to a commission. Be like, there's this incident. I'm sure you heard about it. What is the commission's responsibility to when it comes to an incident like this, where there's obvious interference and intimidation from the corner of one fighter against the opponents of their fighter? Like, that's not, he was not giving any instructions to his fighter. He was just screaming out obscenities against the other guy. He never once said anything. In fact, all he said is F him up, knock him out. Those aren't instructions, bro. That was the Teofimo Lopez Sr. moment. Just get him out of there. Just get him out of there. Bro, they have to do something about that, right? And I tell you one thing, right? Even in the amateurs, that happens. I'm not too sure if you know this, right? But
Yeah,
about 5 6 months ago, there was this local event. Well, not local, but I mean local to the state of California. There was some kind of a silver gloves or
we're at.
whatever, right? And there was literally a 12-year-old kid down south fighting a 12-year-old kid from up north, like Oakland or whatever.
Hmm.
Very good fighters. And one fighter's family in camp and training corner or whatever, they were bombing the other person's IG. go, you bum, you guys suck, we're gonna beat you, blah blah blah, whoop de woo, welcome to whatever Oakland or whatever, right? And
Mhm.
they were just taunting him. And then when they went into the day of the fight, they had all of these guys on one side's corner and they were screaming at him, and as the kid was walking they were scaring him and doing all kinds of stuff for them, to intimidate the little fighter who's only 12 years old. And
Wow.
yeah, and the commission, USA Boxing for California, had to get involved. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know, right?
How do you
But
know?
I'm not gonna tell you. I'm
Like
not.
what?
Well, look, let's just say that I get involved more than you guys think I do, right? And I keep track of these things, right? Because I really want to promote local boxing. So they actually made this big old deal, said that they cannot do that because they will forfeit the fight, and the fighter of the team that's arresting will lose by default. And they basically kicked out so many people on the day of the fight. Guess what? The guy who was being taunted still won. It was a huge, incredible thing, and there's video of it too. Like you see all these people screaming and taunting a 12-year-old kid. It was one of
Wow.
the most embarrassing things. So if they can do it in the amateurs, you don't think that they can actually do it in the pros? I've never seen any Robert Garcia, Brian Womack. I've never seen a Derek James calling the opponent any names in a fight, ever, ever. Never once heard that. And I think that is not only unprofessional.
Is that
I
Rick?
think I think it's unnecessary and it should be disallowed.
Is that Rick?
No, no, that's Rick. No, no, no. This is my son just getting loud because he got his behind beat in Fortnite. Can you believe that?
Mm. Your older son, because I was like an older man that
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. He's starting to. I think his nuts dropped. That's why he has more bass in his voice now.
Yeah, yeah, probably, bro. But yeah,
Anyway, so um, I gotta go get some water, man. When you want to do this again?
whenever, man. I'm off. Well, fuck. Yeah, like I don't want to put it out there, but yeah, I guess I can. I'm off the next like 2 days. So,
Like off, like party time or what?
well, nah, it looks like it, but they may put some shit on my calendar. So,
Wait,
uh,
wait, wait. So this is not voluntary time off.
yeah, no, it just happens to be nothing on my schedule, so I get to
Oh
chill.
man,
But
you want to do some mountain biking or what?
I was gonna see. No, I had to get an oil change. That's the thing. On
Literally
my
takes like half an hour.
Yeah, I know. So I had, but I'm gonna just chill and see. If they add something to my schedule.
And
You
if
know,
they don't, you want to go mountain biking?
yeah, we'll see.
Everybody dug that mountain bike work. All right.
Yeah,
Before we call it a night,
cause I got some stuff cooking on my little on my little designs. So I'm gonna work on that too.
yeah, those are good ideas. Couple of things right quick before we call it a night. Eddie Meddy is really, really on top of the things. He says, "I was disappointed that Oscar Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr. fell through." Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
but
big disappointment. I didn't even know
yeah,
that it fell through. In
that
fact,
would
I
have
didn't even know they
yeah,
were talking about it.
that would have been a great fight.
Would have been definitely a great fight, huh? Let me see what else. The Mexican cheese says he got his ass whooped by a gay reality TV star. Not too sure who you're referring to. The
Yeah,
Mexican, who's the gay reality TV star? Hmm. Let me see. There's a promo going on about free Netflix for 2 years with Dish TV subscription. Yeah, I'm not gonna subscribe to no parabolic antenna. Yeah, I'm not gonna do
uh,
that. Mexican G says Mike Tyson was a piece of shh. He was a bully that lost whenever he fought somebody that wasn't afraid of him. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Um, the Prophet Muhammad was also a pedo. The Prophet Muhammad married a 9-year-old girl. You know what? The Mexican, I don't like to get too deep in religion and stuff like that because I'm a Freemason, so I know these things are all stories. They're all fairy tales. Addy May says, "Sheesh, I fast forwarded that fight." No, you should watch it, Addy. It's Austin Deanda versus DeAndre Pettis. It was a very good fight. It was sloppy. They're not the best. They're not the sharpest. They're not the fastest. But they're both greedy. They both take punches. They both give each other a lot of beef in that fight. And the horrible corner, man, horrible corner. Virginia, the state of Virginia should be embarrassed to have people that act like that. As grown men, let the idiots like me act like that. The Mexican cheese says stand for something or fall for everything. Absolutely. And he says that Dream is gonna go watch Troy Isley and go to sleep.
Nah,
Oh, Tommy Fury is the gay reality TV star. I didn't know he was gay. I just thought he was very good looking. But then again, a lot
he's
of good
not
looking
gay.
guys.
This guy.
All these
Don't
good
believe
looking guys
everything
are
you're
gay.
reading. Why
No, no,
you?
no, no, really. Whenever there's a guy that's good looking, I always suspect, are you gay? Like a person that takes himself too seriously. Like when it comes to
Oh
his
yeah, yeah.
appearance, yeah, like you fix your hair and you do all kind of stuff. And, I'm like, like, come on, bro. Like, don't you know what women like? Women like the ugly guys. Women like the guys that that ignore them. Women like the guys with the beard. They're not gonna like a guy that's prettier than them. Come on, get with the program. Yeah, I believe Tommy Fury may actually be homosexual. The Mexican cheese says he whooped Jake Paul.
He
Yeah,
does do too much. He does do
yeah,
way too much.
yeah. Who? Tommy Fury?
Yeah,
Oh, I don't follow the guy, bro. I just know that when I see him, I was like, how is he related to the Furies? The Furies
yeah,
are
I
so
know.
like, they're like ogres.
Yeah, I know. The fucking, and then this guy comes out like a fucking pearl.
Oh, this guy has hair.
Yeah, this guy has hair and colored eyes, and the other guys they have brown eyes. Fucking,
Yeah. The shape of the head too, bro. The Furies have potato heads, and this guy has like a regular head.
yeah,
That's
regular
hilarious.
head. Fucking
Regular head. Tommy regular head Fury.
yeah,
Adi Metis is like Ryan Garcia. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, I get it. I get it. He's GA White. He was in a dating TV show and he kissed a man.
no way.
Wow.
He kissed a man. Nah, put it on your mom.
No, he's not. Come on. Why does he have to do that? No, if the Mexican says,
Come on, put it on your mom. No, I'm just kidding.
that's
But
hilarious.
that's
Um,
crazy, bro.
yeah, that's crazy. Like,
And
why are you
that's
trying
yeah,
to pander? Like,
he's
yeah,
definitely
I'm
gay.
done with that. I'm done with like no. Look, if you're straight, you're straight. There's no more. What's that thing we used to say? It there's like it's not gay if whatever. I don't know what they used to say. No, it's gay. It's gay,
Yeah,
bro. Like there's no like no. Don't do that. If you're a grown man that's respectable and you want people to respect you and you don't want them to give you the side eye. Listen, don't touch another man. Right. That's it. Simple. Right. On my mother, yeah, he says on his mother. He's not joking. I believe it, and it's on YouTube. Yeah, you know what? I like to search up a lot of things on YouTube, Mexican, but that's not one of the things I'm going to search up.
yeah,
I'm just gonna take your word. Dream,
yeah. That's why I asked. Yeah, that's why I said I was like, put it on your mom, so I don't have to look.
dream.
No,
You know what?
I'm
It's
good.
we've come across that time, man. It's moment for us to part ways. I wanted to thank the Mexican G, Adi Medi,